Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's Jay Milne. #Blue.
Our sports update deliverer, the Coon.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid? You might be honest.
All right, here's what's going on in the Nasty Cup.
All right, happy Friday, everybody. Man, we're not going to mail this one in because we have a lot to talk about. We're going to go over the Connor McDavid media availability from earlier today. Matthias Ekholm also spoke. He always has some interesting things to say, so we'll dive into those comments when we get to the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel. The Elks set to face the Stampeders tomorrow, 5 o'clock on Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. We'll talk about the Elks depth chart, some of the storylines going into that game. The Elks really injury-riddled going into this game. It's going to be a tough one against the Stampeders. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock, by the way, we'll have Jason Milne and Matthew Iwanek right here on Edmonton Sports Talk with the Green and Gold kickoff show. They'll be on after the game Saturday night around 8 for the Green and Gold post-game show as well. A couple things have happened here in the last little while. Carey Price has been traded. Well, his contract has been traded. The Canadians trading the contract of goaltender Carey Price and a 5th-round pick in 2026 to the San Jose Sharks in exchange for defenseman Guénon Larocque. Price, I'm reading this off the web here, Price in the final year of a 8-year, $84 million contract, cap hit of $10.5 million. So Price got a signing bonus on September 1st of $5.5 million. He's owed $2 million in money for the rest of the season. Yes, he has not played since 21-22. So this gives the Canadians some cap space to work on their roster without having to wait for the regular season when he'd be on LTIR, and it could help San Jose make sure that they are over the cap floor. So Carey Price's contract, I mean, he's not going to play, obviously, for the San Jose Sharks. Traded to San Jose for, along with a 5th-rounder, for defenseman Guénon Larocque. So we have that. Derek Ryan, former University of Alberta Golden Bear, has announced his retirement. Of course, he was kind of didn't play much for the Oilers as the season went on. I mean, Derek's a great story. Was out of the U of A after playing in the Dub. Was in Europe for most of his 20s. Came to North America, played for Carolina, played for Calgary, and then played for the Oilers. So we wish Derek all the best. Along with Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. It is Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports, presented by Play Alberta. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, just swell.
Yeah, you look swell.
606 games for Derek Ryan.
Yeah, pretty good.
That's not bad.
Pretty good. Scored double digits, I think, every year except for 2 if he played a full season, just off the top of my head. So he did pretty well. He did pretty well.
Maybe that should be our off-topic topic.
Had a hat trick against the Florida Panthers in the regular season a couple of years ago.
What is Derek Ryan's retirement plans?
I don't know what they are. I don't know if he'll coach or what he'll do.
He strikes me as a guy that would coach at some point or be involved. He'll probably take a few years off, though, before that it would happen and re-immersing himself into the game. No? Maybe?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really talked to Derek a lot recently. But
was this something that you would expect it to be announced at some point leading up to training camp?
Well, it's funny with like sometimes players, you'll see they announce a player retirement and you'll look and say, oh, geez, he hasn't played for a year or two. And then they decide, I'm officially going to do it. I mean, maybe in the summer he was seeing what might be available. I know I was off when Tyson Barrie retired, but he had a pretty funny comment. I made the decision in conjunction with the 32 NHL teams, none of whom were offering him a contract. But I thought Derek Ryan was a great story. Worked hard. You know, I think you could see when he played this year was obviously at the tail end of his career, but a pretty cool story. And as I often point out, I got a soft spot for the U of A guys. Wonder if there are any U of A guys go on the Oilers right now. I'll have to check that.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
That would be shocking.
Any U of A, any University of Alberta Golden Bear connections currently with the Edmonton Oilers? So I might have to look into that. You can tell us what you know, what you think, by posting in the nasty chat on YouTube, the chat function going down the right-hand side of the screen if you are taking us in on YouTube. Subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk if you have not already. Give the show a like. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. We try to get to 100 thumbs minimum every show, and we're back into the swing of sort of the fall and hockey ramping up and the CFL getting down to the nitty-gritty and the NFL starting. So, more and more people checking us out. Hopefully people still finding us as we go into year 3 here at EST.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right.
Hang on a sec.
What?
Oh,
What is that?
just had to spit.
Oh, you're spitting on stuff already.
Yeah. Feel like I'm in a real spitting mood today.
So, okay, well, that's going to be, that'll be the off-topic topic in a few minutes. But what did you think of that as a former football competitive player yourself?
The thought of spitting on someone as a sign of, yeah, you don't want to mess with me. I might spit on you. Okay. This is pointless. But as that game went on, and especially during the weather delay, they kind of zeroed back in on it.
Right.
Because look, Jalen Carter's their number one defensive player. Losing him, that was a major story in that game. Losing him before the game even started. It was after the opening kickoff.
Yeah.
But then it was, shown, well, actually, Dak Prescott was egging him on quite a bit. They were talking. Dak was still inside the huddle, went to the edge of the huddle, and clearly spit downwards toward Jalen Carter. To me, this was a show of disrespect, saying, screw you. To which Jalen Carter clearly took offense, and they had words, and Jalen Carter returned the favor just a little higher.
Right.
And it ended up landing on Dak's jersey. Ejection from the game. You can't do that. But I don't know. I mean, that is so stupid, so boneheaded. And same with what Dak Prescott did. I mean, you could say, okay, Dak won that one. Dak won. Jalen Carter 0.
Yeah.
But just grow up. What are we doing? What are we spitting on people?
Yeah.
What are you trying to show? I mean, I guess for the Cowboys it worked out, but ultimately it didn't because they weren't able to get over the fact that CeeDee Lamb choked in the second half. And
he missed a couple, eh?
He's sure-handed.
You expect him to catch?
He's sure-handed, but he wasn't in the second half. And I think if he had come in with a couple of those catches, 2 or 3 of them even, that might have been a different ending to that game.
The thing that I find interesting is like in that split second to lose your cool enough to spit on a guy, because we talk a lot about hockey. I mean, there's fights, there's hitting from behind, there's high sticks. And as much as we say, well, the team wasn't disciplined, sometimes you look at a replay and you're like, well, his stick rode up. He didn't mean it. Like, he's got to control it, but sticks also go up. Even the cross-checking and the hitting from behind, I often complain about, but there are times you think, well, it was going to be a clean check and he just went a little too hard and all that kind of stuff. But like with the spitting, like, that's wrong in every sport. Like, if you do that, you are crossing the line and you're walking the line of being kicked out and maybe getting suspended.
And it's just a major sign of disrespect. And you can be as competitive as you want inside the lines and in between the whistles.
Yeah.
But that takes it to a completely trash level. He will not escape that for the rest of his playing career. That's the thing. One incident like that, I get it. You were egged on. You're trying to be the big guy, show the bravado.
Yeah.
Pump your chest. But that's just stupid. You let your emotions get the best of you. And it really could have hurt that team. Thankfully for the Eagles, and they're faithful, it didn't. But it surprises me that at a professional level you can have that much of a loss of composure in an instant like that.
Yeah.
And what do you do? What does it do? Does it make you feel better? Are you more of a man?
Heat of the moment, right? I guess you hate him so much, you have to show him how much you hate him.
Sure, but there's other ways to do that, especially Jalen Carter.
Yeah,
as a dominant, pressure defensive lineman.
Yeah,
I just thought it was incredibly stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it's like to play sports at that high level. I talk to a lot of people who have. I've been lucky enough to over the course of my career. Like Rob Brown and I used to talk about that all the time. If the Oilers would lose, we'd always get, well, they should have started fighting. They should have. Rob's like, well, okay, but every single time, and he said sometimes take a number. It's a dish best served cold. And I think in that situation,
Yes.
Jalen Carter's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably would have got to Dak
Might have got
once
a
or
sack,
twice.
and then maybe he gives him a little wink, or been like, spit that one out, Zach or Dak. Something. I don't know. I know that. I know I'm being a little silly here, but
It'd be interesting to see because it was said, is there going to be a suspension? Is there?
Yeah.
I would imagine there'll be a fine.
Right.
I don't know unless they want to set a precedent.
Yeah.
Which they could make an example on opening night of the NFL
Yeah.
season, opening play. You do that. But if Jalen Carter gets fined, then Dak Prescott should be as well.
Yes.
Because that was clearly his intent, was to spit in a sign of disrespect.
I spit in your general direction.
Yes.
Wasn't that from Monty Python? They did something like that.
With intent.
What was the phrase from? Wasn't that in one of the Monty Python movies?
I don't know. This is like the Monty Python and the
Yeah, wasn't it? Was it in
the Holy Grail?
Yeah, the Holy Grail or something. Was it I fart in your general direction, or I spit in your general direction, or something like that? Or Ben Thompson a couple weeks ago, he farts in every direction.
Cleared the studio.
Cleared the studio.
Yeah, Benny cleared the studio out there, Dan.
Rip City Steps says sometimes guys lose their minds. Remember when Zidane just headbutted that guy in a World Cup final? Yeah, I mean, of course, human beings cross the line, but the spitting. I mean, I guess I'll use hockey as example. Though in hockey you can fight and come back to the game, depending on the circumstances. But there are times in hockey you might say, you know what, he didn't need to fight, he didn't need to do that, but he showed his teammates, or a smaller guy fights and gets his ass kicked, but his teammates are like, you know what, just the fact that you did it, like that fires us up. Now we respect you. No Eagles player is thinking, yeah, Jalen, that was worth getting kicked out.
No.
You know what I mean? Like if I'm a little guy in hockey, then I'm getting cross-checked, pushed around, and then maybe I snap a little bit and slash a guy and jump him and get, a game misconduct. There might be some guys on the bench or might be thinking, you know what, good for Wilkins. He'll take that game misconduct because maybe he got himself a little more space down the road, right? But no one's thinking like, good for you, Jalen. That's, that's worth it. That's worth it. I don't think anybody was thinking that on the Eagles bench. You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, I do.
Like, there are times that you might have a teammate do something. It's like, well, that's dirty. I don't want someone doing it to me. But as my teammate, I kind of will live with the punishment he's going to get for that.
Well, you have to. I mean,
but in this case, nobody's like.
Okay, so why is it then that you hear of these spitting incidents in the NFL primarily?
Why?
As opposed to the NHL.
I think there's been some spitting in hockey or some biting accusations, but they're still pretty rare. Is it more common in football? I don't know.
Well, I just looked up NHL spitting incidents. Terrell Owens had a spitting incident, spat at D'Angelo Hall in 2006. Peyton Turner spit at Devonta Smith last September.
Oh, really? That was just last year. Okay.
Yeah.
It's big in soccer.
Spitting?
Oh, yeah.
Like trying to spit on a person or just at their feet? Really? All right.
Well, it's not. I've seen it more in soccer than in any other sport.
Yeah. Maybe they should allow fighting.
Maybe that's what. Maybe that's what we could do.
What?
What would make you mad enough to spit at someone?
Off-topic topic for William Huff. Well, let's combine those. Yeah, the off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. So you want to say what would make you mad enough to spit?
Or, yeah, we can combine the two.
And then,
like, who would you
the
spit
other
at?
half is who would it be worthwhile for you to spit at? Like, you'll take the suspension.
Yes, knowing there's repercussions.
Or you'll take the game misconduct.
In the form of a fine.
Yeah.
Or
like Brad Marchand in the Nasty Chat. Some people might spit at him.
Well, he'd rather choke you.
Yes.
As clearly displayed.
Well, Brad says spitting is disgusting. Have some decorum.
Well,
he was licking people a few years ago. Weren't you, Brad?
I'm just trying to think what would make me mad enough to spit at someone. Probably someone that buds a line
Oh, jeez.
in a grocery
Yeah,
store
that really bothers you.
or at a coffee establishment.
Or driving in front of you, yes.
Well, driving, okay, especially if
Well,
you're
didn't that
if
one,
we're talking
well,
zipper
didn't
merge
somebody
here,
go in
it's
front
totally
of you in a
fine.
drive-through?
No, it was
What
at
was
a
it again?
it was at a grocery store,
Oh, okay, sorry.
and they opened a new till, and I was next in line. Well, that's supposed to be I if I could go back, I wouldn't say anything to him. I'd just go up to him and spit on him.
On his chest or at his feet?
Oh, I'd go right
Face
for the
to face?
Yeah,
Try-
I'd probably go for the neck area. Make it real bad.
All right.
But you know that you got to be in a certain moment of weakness, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess if I saw somebody bullying my daughters, even if it was a kid their age, I'd go spit on him.
Well, you probably would do more than that.
I'd go
but-
spit right on top of his head.
So,
Little dweeb.
in what circumstance would make you feel like spitting, or who would you like to spit at, and just take the punishment? That'll be our off-topic topic. This could be the all-time best one, or we may get nothing for this one. We'll see.
TBD, bro.
Connor McDavid did speak today. We will have comments from him and our thoughts, your thoughts as well, as he talked contract, his future, a little bit on this year's roster, as, of course, we continue to wait for him to sign a contract extension with your Edmonton Oilers. Now,
Mike from Calgary.
yes.
He says, wasn't Philp from U of A?
Well, which one? There was Luke and Noah. Which one's he talking about?
Oh, Dave from Ewell says, huge shout out to the boys this morning for the amazing tune. Did you hear the new Ewell jingle? It's fantastic.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And
And I
thanks-
heard the Nasty Bash song, too.
Yeah.
It's the Pink Pony Club. What's it called? Fergie's Rugby Club?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We at Ewell all love it. That's from Ewell Dave. Well, thank you, Dave. Thanks for supporting Edmonton Sports Talk.
Yeah, we appreciate that. All right, so you can post in the Nasty Chat. You can email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com, Jay at edmontonsportstalk.com. You can text us 780-218-9999. That is the afternoon inbox presented by River Crew Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant. $18.99 prime rib special. Now, it's not available on show nights, but it's available every other day of the week from 11:30 in the morning to 11 at night, and it is available for dine-in and takeout. So a lot on McDavid today. Jed Roberts is going to be on the show. I imagine he'll have some thoughts on the spitting and on McDavid, and looking ahead to Elk Stamps. Our Past the Pantry Athlete of the Week is going to be featured today, and we have a very special guest sitting in for Zachary Kubish today on the technical desk. Here he comes. It's Hernan Salas.
Week 14 in the CFL kicks off tonight as the Ottawa Redblacks host the BC Lions. You can catch all the action on TSN starting at 5:30. Labor rematch goes on Saturday as the Edmonton Elks welcome in the Calgary Stampeders to Commonwealth Stadium. In the final game of the Saturday CFL tripleheader, the Green and Gold kickoff show gets you set for all the action starting at 4 with Matthew Wanick and Jay Milne. Kickoff just after 5. One last note from the CFL as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers announced that receiver Dalton Schoen will miss the rest of the CFL season due to a torn ACL. The NFL rolls along this evening from Brazil as the Kansas City Chiefs and LA Chargers battle it out. Game time is 6 o'clock. To the majors, the Blue Jays and Yankees meet up for a 3-game set. First pitch from Yankee Stadium set for 5:05. And to the soccer pitch, Canada defeated Romania 3-0 in their first friendly of the international break. Jonathan David, Ali Ahmad, and Nico Seeger scored the goals for the Red and White. They will play Wales on Tuesday to close out the international window. Coming up next, it's the Oil Understood here on the Reid Wilkins Show.
Guys and a goalie.
I don't like that people are like making him out to be a villain in the negotiation. Everyone's like, well, how dare he? He needs to take less so that they can win. Give your head a shake. That's such a crazy attitude. You've seen enough ups and downs, and you've lost twice in the finals, and there is zero obligation in that negotiation to take a hometown deal. It's like he should get what he's worth. He's the best player in the world.
Two Guys and a Goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Win big this NFL season at the Canadian Brewhouse presented by Bud Light. You could win a trip to Super Bowl 60, plus prizes like smokers, Bud Light coolers, and a trip to an NFL home opener next season. Enjoy $1 off Bud Light and Budweiser tankers. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Back to school? Really?
Yay! Really? As things settle back into a routine in your home, you may need extra space. Sentinel Storage is here to help with a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Okay, hope you're having a great Friday afternoon. Jason Milne, Reid Wilkins, Hernan Salas filling in for the Coop today. Hernan, it's great to see you, buddy. I mean, I get to see you all day, but being on air with
This
you,
is
like
different.
it's incredible.
It's it's just I was telling you guys before, I hope I don't screw things up too much, because pre and post producing is a little bit different than doing these shows. These shows have a lot more things going on. So appreciate Maddie sticking around here for an hour, showing me what to do. And I haven't done a sports update in many years.
You sounded great.
You sounded fantastic.
You sounded great. You fired it
that.
out. It's beautiful. We got tennis on the
Yes.
ESTV. Of course, there's a big piece of paper right in front of the score from where I'm sitting. And actually, now Iwanek puts the chair there's John Bon Jovi.
Shot through the heart, I fired an ace.
That's his tennis song. Yeah. Shot through the racket. I fired an ace. You give love. You give love as your score. Yeah. How about that?
Yeah, that rhymed.
So anyway, I can't see the score. It's
Me neither.
Djokovic and Alcatraz.
There's Febreze and Lysol wipes blocking mine.
How long do you think I'd call him Alcatraz before people get really annoyed? Well, I annoy people all day anyway.
Couple minutes.
I do believe Alcaraz is winning. Yes, 6-4, 7-6, and up 2-1 in the third. And then what about 5? It's the Canadian kid. What are we calling him? FAA? Felix Auger-Aliassime against Sinner. He's the number 1 seed, so
I think
we'll
if you
keep an eye on that.
confidently say his name, you should say his full name.
I'm pretty sure I said it correctly, but I heard him called
Felix
FAA.
Auger-Aliassime.
You got to shorten everything.
Felix Auger-Aliassime.
Did I say it correctly?
Yes.
I didn't do it with a fancy accent like you did. That was pretty good.
Well, whenever we want to throw to talk about it, we'll just get Hernan to introduce
I
it.
just love how Iwanek totally disrespects my view of the television.
This is pretty good.
It's like I'm going to open a binder so it covers the score and then leave my chair so it covers 2/3 of the screen. So they just had they had the words U.S. Open on the screen and I could see the U.
So I'll give you an update, Reid.
Yes.
Carlos Alcaraz leads 2 sets Currently in the third set, he's up 2-1.
Okay.
So he can close it out in this.
He can sweep it.
He can sweep
Win it, or as they say in tennis, he could win in straight sets.
Straight sets.
Right.
Exactly.
John Bon Jovi is there. There's another off-topic topic. Send us Bon Jovi songs that are about tennis. So you just tweak the title just a little bit. Give us John Bon Jovi songs that are about tennis.
Is Shot Through the Heart, is that Bon Jovi?
Yeah. It's called
okay.
The song is called You Give Love a Bad Name. Yeah. All right. Let's get into this because it is the big talking point in oil country as we go into the oil understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel! Understood.
That was our best one yet.
That was pretty good. We're getting better. Are we really?
Yeah.
The bar was pretty low. So I know we've gone over on other shows the McDavid comments, but Jay and I want to talk about it. And we cut some stuff, some of the key things out. McDavid, first of all, just, I asked a very general question. Where are you at with the contract negotiations? Do you have any update?
Nothing really to add. I mean, nothing else to say. Taking our time, and that's going to be the answer for at least a little bit here. So we'll see.
Nothing else to say. That'll be they're taking their time, and that'll be the answer for a little bit. I'm just pausing to allow you to speak if you would like, Jason Milne. You do not have to. I'm just wondering if you had any reaction to that one. No? Okay.
Well, what's there to say?
He's taking his time.
He's taking his time.
Which is really, he has every right to do.
Yeah. I mean, we went over it yesterday. It's not the 16th yet. I mean, that's when Sidney Crosby signed.
That's what Sidney Crosby signed last year.
Right.
True. Yeah, it's not even training camp. These aren't even official team activity. No, Knobloch was watching today.
Ooh, with intent?
Yes, with intent. Very, very intently. I'm not sure how much you take out of these. Well, whatever. All right. McDavid, which one do I want to go to here? Here's just some of his mulling on the future and thinking about the contract and his life.
I mean, when you're trying to plan the next 3, 4, 6, 7, 9 years of your life, you don't just come up with, you don't just dream it up in one day. You take your time, talk it over, think about it some more, talk it over again. It's not something that I take lightly. It's not something that my family takes lightly. As I alluded to yesterday, didn't put everything I have into this, into my career, just like everybody here. You only get one chance to do it and to do it right, and that leads to taking your time with it. Nothing else to really say.
I mean, it's true. He's given his life to hockey. 3, 4, 6, 7, 9 years of his life. The next,
right?
That is. I love how he kept going.
Yeah, and then he nines the most.
Yeah, 3, 4 years of my life. Everybody said, "What?
He could sign an 8-year extension, which would mean 9 more as an Oiler counting this year if he signs the max.
Yeah.
Connor
McDavid's no dummy.
No, he's not. And Gager was talking about this too. Obviously, if you're playing in the NHL, you've dedicated your life to hockey. It's all McDavid has wanted to do since he was a little kid. I mean, what was it in the book Marty Klinkenberg wrote a few years ago? Like at 6 years old, he told his mom that he wanted to have exceptional status in the Ontario Hockey League.
Yeah.
Like he was aware of how hockey worked already at that age. Look, there's going to be a lot read into this. We've heard a lot from fans, listeners over the last few days. I was saying yesterday on Two Guys with Gager and Cass. I mean, I have a couple of friends who are pretty big Oilers fans who are like, "What's going on? What's going on?" I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. What's going on? Or I just say, "Hey, listen to my show." We're going to talk about stuff today. We're going to analyze it. We'll probably overanalyze it. I guess we won't know what he was thinking until until he makes a decision or until something is announced. And I know already, I'm not even looking at the chat right now, but I can already guess what's there before we even play the rest of the clips. And a lot of people have probably already heard the comments today. There's going to be the one end of the spectrum. Oh, see, he hates it here. He thinks the team sucks. He thinks the management sucks, and he can't wait to leave. And that's why he won't commit. And then we'll get the other end of the spectrum who are basically going to go along with what McDavid is saying, that it's a big decision. He's a thoughtful person. He's going to think about it just to make sure everything is right in his head before he actually signs it. I mean, those are the two ends of the spectrum. I think, again, we have seen that he is a very thoughtful person. He loves being a hockey player. We're going to have an answer to a question that I asked him. I'll play this in a minute or two. What are you saying that? Because when I heard that, I was kind of like, is he saying the money is not inconsequential, but not as consequential as to how long I'm going to commit to a team in a city? But then you're going to hear him say the money is a big deal. I mean, it's his opportunity to be paid a lot. And quite frankly, he's deserving of that opportunity because he's exceptional at what he does.
I think what's making people nervous is that the Oilers can match what any other team would ever put up for Connor McDavid in terms of money, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like what's the deal here then? Like what's
term? Probably
it's probably the term, right?
Well, it has to be.
It has to be because the money's not a problem. He's going to be the highest paid. It's not even a question. And the Oilers can match any other offer if it gets to that point. So I think that's why people are getting a little worried because is he thinking like, do I want to be in Edmonton for 8 years?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's totally fair. Do you also think, Hernan and Reid, that a lot of Oilers fans aren't giving his words the benefit of the doubt? And what I'm saying is, he's just saying that. What's he really think? Right? Do you think what Connor's saying is truly what's going on? I'm taking my time. I need to think about, because I think, well, that 3, 4, 6, 7, 9 years, whatever that is. I know Dustin has said and thought 4 years would be probably what's signed.
Right?
Reid, you've said that or thought that.
Yeah, I think that's possible. Sure.
But that this deal gets done for 4 years. Well, guess what? The Oilers need to win a Stanley Cup in those 4 years, correct? In order to
it'd be nice, to
keep someone around.
Sure,
Because I think that's the deal is that what's holding him back from signing a longer term deal.
Yeah, I like, to nitpick. So let's say he signs a 4-year deal and they win the Stanley Cup this year.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean he still can't leave after the end of the 4-year deal, right? I mean, he'll have options.
Well, what if the Oilers can get it done in those 4 years? Maybe twice. Then he's not going anywhere. Probably. But is that a reality? Is that what you've heard on your show, Hernan, on our show, that he wants to make sure the Oilers are doing the right things with the team to get them to that next level?
And he said so. He said, I'm very happy with management. I'm very happy where the team is at in terms of how they've been built. So again, is he just saying that? Does he really mean it? Another good point that was brought up is he waiting for the other 97 to sign?
See, I don't know. Like Cass brought that up yesterday, and I was kind of like, I don't know. But okay, I'll play the clip. So I said to him, you're talking about the next decade of your life. So is the length of the contract more important than what your salary is going to be?
Trying to come up with a solution that works for everybody. As I said, I put everything I have into this and deserve to be paid what I feel is fair. With that being said, this is a salary cap, and my only desire is to win. So trying to figure out that balance is tricky.
All right, so what did he say there? I deserve to be paid what I feel is fair, which is a blunt comment. And let's face it, a lot of athletes, they'll deflect money comments in any way, but he came out and said, I want to be paid what I think is fair, but there's also a cap. So he acknowledged I can't get everything, and he wants to win. So maybe that's his way of acknowledging. But if I eat up a little less of the cap, maybe that allows some flexibility there. I'm sure he's considering all those things. And again, like I've been saying this week, he's probably considering things that we can't even fathom, or emphasizing things in his own mind that we might not think are as important. Maybe they're more important to him. And he also knows anything he says is going to be talked about ad nauseum.
Well, but could both things be true at the same time?
Yeah.
Can he deserve to be paid what he should be paid? I don't think you'll find one Edmonton Oilers fan that says, I don't know if he's worth 17.
Oh, of course, yeah.
That's not the case.
Because
Pay
he's
the man.
going to get, like he said, I want to get paid what I'm worth. I think the Oilers have no issues with that.
But he did also make it clear his only desire is to win.
To win, yes.
But I really appreciate that. That's the most candid I've heard Connor McDavid talk about this. Is, yeah, I'm good. Pay me. That's what I deserve. He probably would be wanting to be paid more if there was no cap and he could only take 20% of it. I don't mind that because that's reality. That's the truth. He's the best player in the world. But there is still the desire to win, obviously.
Right.
And the interesting comment I think he made with one of the reporters yesterday was that I want to do what's best for me and the team. Like, it's not just all about Connor, right? Like, he wants to set up the team where they can be active, let's say, in the trade market or going out and getting the free agent. And I think that's important to him as well, where it's like, yeah, I want to get my payday too, but I also know what Leon and Darnell are getting. And I know eventually we're going to have to get a goalie that's going to make more than $2.6 million. So maybe he's weighing that too. Take a little bit less, take a longer term to help the team. Who knows?
We'll get to some more comments from Connor McDavid. Interesting stuff today. Matthias Ekholm spoke too. He elaborated on the injury that really limited him in the Stanley Cup final last year, and it's also Ekholm's final year of his contract, so he was asked a question about his future as well. You can get in touch, post in the Nasty Chat on YouTube, text the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. Of course, we are in the Banquet studio, craving a late-night snack. Check out the Banquet's new late-night happy hour menu, Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. until close. Enjoy favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or the Banquet burger at happy hour prices. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard. Here's Hernan.
Week 14 in the CFL kicks off tonight as the Ottawa Redblacks host the BC Lions. You can catch all the action on TSN starting at 5:30. The Labor Day rematch goes on Saturday as the Edmonton Elks welcome in the Calgary Stampeders to Commonwealth Stadium in the final game of the CFL triple header. The Green and Gold kickoff show gets you set for all the action starting at 4 p.m. with Matthew Wannick and Jay Milne. And one last note from the Canadian Football League as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers announced that receiver Dalton Schoen will miss the rest of the season due to a torn ACL. The NFL rolls on this evening from Brazil as the Kansas City Chiefs take on the LA Chargers. Game time is 6 o'clock. To the majors, Toronto Blue Jays and New York Yankees meet up for a 3-game set beginning tonight. First pitch from Yankee Stadium goes at 5:05. And on the soccer pitch, Canada defeated Romania 3-0 in their first friendly of the international break. Jonathan David, Ali Ahmad, and Nico Seeger scored the goals for the red and white. They will play Wales on Tuesday to close out the international window. The U.S. Open semifinal action on the men's side. Carlos Alcaraz took the first 2 sets and in the third leads Novak Djokovic 5-2. Coming up next on the Reid Wilkins Show, it's Jay's Play of the Day.
So he wasn't really all in on St. Louis.
He got bad advice from his agent.
Yeah.
I was with someone from Oilers Hockey Ops during that time as well, and they were just saying he made a poor choice.
I also feel like the Oilers didn't match out of spite.
They felt slighted by him.
But still, you let one of your only few prospects go.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Everyone knows when you need a truck now, you call Dawn.
That's right. You call us, Frontier Cartage, when you need driver coverage or have a truck that's down.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you've got way more freight to move than you thought.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you need a truck that's available and ready to start anytime you need.
You call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826. 587-222-5826.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. All right, good to have you tuning in this afternoon. Hope you have a great weekend planned. We have comments here from Connor McDavid and Matthias Ekholm as we go through the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel. Elks Stampeders tomorrow, play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's a 5 o'clock game. Weather should be excellent. We will have the Green and Gold kickoff show at 4 o'clock tomorrow with Jason Milne and Matthew Awanek, and a little more on the Elks and their depth chart and keys to victory as we move along through the Reid Wilkins show. We're with you until 6 o'clock. We just have multiple off-topic topics. Who would you spit at? Who would you take the punishment? And because I saw Bon Jovi on television watching the U.S. Open, what's a Bon Jovi song or two that might be about tennis?
Mikey says, "Lay your serve on me."
Yeah, lay your serve on me. Yeah.
We just say that one line over and over again.
Just say that over and over again. Well, that is the chorus.
Lay your serve on me. Lay your serve on me. Lay your serve on me.
Yeah, you'd have to rewrite the whole song.
Yeah, we just have to change the verses.
Yeah.
So, James, if you want to send in a verse, go ahead.
Yeah, rewrite the whole song. I think like you give love a bad name, you don't even have to change the title. It just means love is in tennis, as in you have no score. You have 0. You have love. You give love a bad name. That fits perfectly. You know?
Oh, love. Yeah, 30 love.
So lots of possibilities, I hope. Or maybe none. Maybe that's the only one.
Well, Andrea from Calgary says hi from the QE2. It's the second year in a row she's listening to the show while on the way up for the rematch, the Labor Day rematch.
Oh, good.
Yes.
That's very nice to hear. We appreciate that. You know what else is nice to hear?
It's Jay. It's play. He's Jay. It's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
Presented by Play Alberta. You can skip the flight to Vegas because jackpots are just a tap away. Experience all the thrills of the casino right from your phone with Play Alberta. Download the app today and deposit $50 using the EST exclusive promo code EST Casino for a $50 casino bonus.
Well, last night we had George Pickens, anytime touchdown. Didn't happen, but it was a fairly big odd. So, I mean, you know, you're going to maybe sprinkle on that. Today, we went with a little bit more of a heavy hitter in a Xavier Worthy anytime touchdown as the Chiefs and Chargers play tonight. Sao Paulo?
Sao Paulo, Brazil, baby.
Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Future NHL expansion team city.
That's your
NHL is going to Brazil.
Xavier Worthy has risen to the number 1 status in Kansas City. And Did they have Mike Garofalo on this morning on the morning show?
Yes, they did.
Yeah. He alluded to that they're looking to, because he was at Chiefs training camp, and Andy Reid said they are looking to take it back to a little bit of an old school mentality in Kansas City, a la Tyreek Hill era, where their speed, downfield, explosive, quick, fast offense. So if that's the case, Xavier Worthy's the new guy in town. So that's why tonight, I think if somebody's going to score in the end zone with a pass, it's either going to be Kelsey or Xavier Worthy. I'm hitching my horses to Xavier Worthy because they boosted it from plus 139 to plus 155. So head on over to playalberta.ca, click on sports, click on EST specials, scroll down, and you'll see Jay's play of the day. Xavier Worthy, anytime touchdown scorer, and don't forget, always use your game sense.
It's Jay, it's play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
All right, back to Connor McDavid and some of the comments he made today as after the Oilers captain skate. He took some questions. Actually, the second straight day he took the questions. This one, though, in front of an assembled media horde at the downtown community arena. So he was kind of asked, well, does the quality of the team going forward factor into your decision?
The core guys are still here. Maybe a couple changes here and there, but the core guys that have made kind of a few runs at it are here and know what it takes and know what that disappointment feels like and know how motivated we are. So that gives me lots of confidence in this season. Beyond that, remains to be seen.
Well, I mean, what he said at the end there, does that worry people? I like the team this year. Beyond that, we'll see. And he only has 1 year left on his contract. Now, he did also say, I like these core guys. All those guys are signed for several years. Mm-hmm. Hyman still a few more. Nugent Hopkins, Draisaitl, obviously, for 8 more starting this year. Darnell's still signed for a long time. Bush is now signed for a long time. So a lot of the players that you would consider core guys are signed for several years going forward.
Does Connor McDavid have to talk to the media?
Does he have to talk to the media? I think if you're a pro athlete and the captain of an NHL team, it would be part of your responsibilities.
But the season's they're not in season. Therefore, he does not have said responsibilities. I'm just wondering, why is he talking?
I explained that yesterday a little bit, right?
Right, but why is he, doing an interview last night, doing an open discussion today?
Right.
If he's clearly, okay, do I have to answer this question again? Well, yeah, you do. And you're going to have to answer this question until there's a resolution.
Well, he probably won't speak now until training camp, which these are not actually Oilers activities. These are a bunch of guys skating on their own. They could invite you out to join them. Hey, Milne, we got some ice. You want to come down to the rink? It's not like Knobloch could say, wait a minute, this guy's not on the team.
Right.
Now, I did outline either yesterday or the day before that, the Oilers media relations people are still around and helping facilitate this. And they said, hey, we talked to Connor. He's willing to do something on Friday.
And what's the deal with him speaking last night or doing an interview with TSN the day before he's going to speak to all the Edmonton local media?
Right.
I don't understand that.
He did, I think he did an interview with Ryan Rishaug and an interview with Mark Spector. I think he did 2 separate interviews.
Who were both there today?
Speck was not there either day.
Okay.
Yeah. Rishaug was there both days. Why did he do those interviews? I believe those interviews were set up through his agent. That's all I can tell you about that. I was surprised because he's talked today that he would also agree to talk more the day before he was going to talk to everybody. But that's why there were interviews done yesterday, as from what I've been told anyway. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I just found it redundant.
Okay.
That's all.
Like, why didn't he just speak at
Today.
training camp?
Yeah. Or at the captain's
officially, they're
skate.
not officially doing anything.
But the Oilers did say earlier in the week that he would be available Friday.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Just it seemed weird. I don't know.
Well, I can only tell you what I know. That apparently that today we were told Okay, earlier this week, we were told, hey, the captain's skates will be open to people, to media, if you want to come Thursday and Friday. If you want to put in player requests, that's fine. We can't, quote unquote, make them talk because they aren't team activities, but guys understand the drill and will probably accommodate you. And then you kind of know they probably won't talk again until training camp, right? So yesterday, Leon, Draisaitl, and Stuart Skinner answered questions. But then we were told ahead of time, Connor, it sounds like Connor would be willing to do something on Friday. So Connor could have said, I'm not doing anything till camp, until it's official team activities. He could have said that, but he agreed to do something today when he's smart enough to know from being in the league 11 years or whatever he's up to now that there's going to be a lot of people there asking him questions, which there were. And
he also gets it out of the way. The training camp, training camp now. I think if anyone asks him about the contract, he'll be very short with them. Like, I already talked on this. You know what I mean? So I think for him, and I'm surprised he did it 2 days in a row, to be honest.
Well, but he didn't do it with everybody yesterday.
No, exactly.
He did,
that's what I mean.
From what I understand, he did 2 separate one-on-ones that were coordinated through his agent, not through the Oilers media relations staff. Now, I don't know exactly how that worked because I wasn't one of the people who got the interviews. I mean, you just good for Speck and Rashog. That's fine.
It made it awkward today when he said, "Well, as I said yesterday, well, we weren't privy to that. Edmonton Sports Talk wasn't privy to that, so that's why Edmonton Sports Talk was. Well,
that's why he's getting the same questions. He's not getting the same questions from the same people.
Yeah,
he's getting questions today from the people who were told, "Be there today. You'll have an opportunity to ask questions that hopefully are relevant." But that's all I can tell you about that. But yes, does he have to talk to the media? Yes, that is part of the job.
In season.
Yes, technically a player could say, sorry guys, I don't want to do it today, or come on, it's not even a game. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Technically they could say that on a day like today.
Yeah. So good on him for doing that.
Yeah.
And you're right, Hernan. I think getting it out of the way is probably the best thing. Just say, okay, here we had our talk. Leave me alone.
And then in training camp, you want to talk to me, talk to me about on-ice stuff. How's the team looking? How's practice? How are the new guys? Do you know what I mean? No more contract. Because I think if he does get a contract question, he's going to be very short.
Yeah, he could refuse or just say, look, all I'm going to tell you is that I'm still thinking about it, and I'm not saying anything else. I mean, if he comes out September 17th or 18th when the camp starts officially, I mean, unless there's something before then there'll be, well, if there'd be a news conference probably in the Hall of Fame room, if that happens.
Right.
If that happens, or, well, whenever that happens, I would think. Yeah, I mean, during the season, it's kind of like, I mean, there's some give and take, like with the Oilers media relations guy, it was kind of like, okay, like, unless there's something going on, don't just ask for Connor every day just for the sake of asking for Connor, which I get it is understandable. Or sometimes it might be like, you know what, I know Connor got 3 assists, but Curtis Lazar hasn't scored 2 goals in a game in 8 years.
Right.
Maybe why don't we roll him out post-game? Because for Connor it was kind of, ho-hum, I got 3 points again, which you get. Which you get.
It's interesting because when my time in the CFL, quarterbacks, as per the CBA of the CFL, they get 1 day off during the week from doing media. Only quarterbacks. And they pick. So you go to the starting quarterback, hey, what days do you guys want off from talking to the media? They'll tell you day 1, day 2, day 3. Walkthrough, they can't take off because it's walkthrough.
Right.
Right. So I know Trey Ford like day 3. Now they're doing day 2s because that might have been Cody saying it's better to do day 2. And then you couldn't talk to injured players. That was just the thing. Where I think in the NHL you can, to a certain extent, because Kane had a press conference last week. A little different.
It's slightly. Usually they say you can't talk to injured players, but then if they start skating, and they're getting close, then usually and then we'll have discussions too, where it's like, okay, look, he's on the ice. Like he took regular line rushes. We're not pulling him out of the training room, or he's still walking around in a cast, and we want to talk to him. He's clearly close to playing.
Because if you're on the field, you're good to go. So my first year, Kenny Lawler is coming back from being on the 6th game. He's on the field. He's looking good. He was going to play. He was the big story. He didn't want to do media. He's like, well, I'm injured. I'm like, yeah, but you're playing. Everybody knows you're right. You know what I mean?
So what happened?
He ended up doing media. He was very short with the media. gave one-word answers.
Right.
But he did it, right? I said, I can't control what you do. You have to be respectful, but you have to go out there. You're
Right.
the biggest story right now in Edmonton because you're returning from injury.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay. He goes, but I'm going to be short because I'm not in the mood for this. Go ahead. And he was very short.
Yeah, which, again, you can't control that. And then that's I mean, we're kind of, I don't know if people are interested in this sort of a little bit behind the scenes stuff. I mean, I've never been told by anybody, like, don't ask that. You know, generally it's like you're a media guy, you're a professional, you can make a request or you can ask. I mean, obviously, I think I'm generally fairly respectful and straightforward, I hope. Like if a media guy was clearly being, but in that case, his employer would also step in and be like, look. But yeah, like that Lawler thing, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to do it, do it. Like don't go out there and pout.
Yeah.
No, so that's why I think this was good. McDavid did this.
Yeah.
He realized, okay, I'm a store. I'm not going to hide or not hide, but act like, oh, why do people want to talk about me? I don't even have a contract. Like he understands just the process is a story. So he came out and did it. He, however, chose to do a couple other ones in advance yesterday.
And the funny thing about Lawler, one of the media members at the end goes, like, are you like mad? Do you have a problem with us? That was straight up. And Kenny just said, no, I'm just hungry. And walked away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
pretty ballsy to ask that question.
The media member was like, because he was being a little, you know what? Like, and it was just like, and I was just glad he did it because I was like, you have to. Like, you have to go out there. Now, I can't control what you want to say and don't want to answer, but you're going to be a professional and go out there and stand in front of them.
Yeah, well, I think that's what McDavid realized today. He's like, they're going to ask me stuff, whether it's September 6th, 10th, or 17th. So if I do it today, then at least I don't have to do it for a while.
That's true.
So good for him. I don't have a problem with what happened today. Again, with the stuff done yesterday, I don't know exactly how that happened. I was told it was lined up through the agents, so that's how it was lined up.
Guys are smart. They get it. Like Mark, do you remember Reid and Jay second year? Mark Cordy, he missed a game because he was getting married.
I do remember that. Yes.
And the fans were just livid. So he shows up after his wedding, and he's requested for media. And he just looked at me and he smiled and he goes, oh, I knew I was going to be on the board today because he missed a game because of his wedding during the season.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And like a lot of people understood it, but a lot of fans were upset about it. You know what I mean? So the media's like, we got to jump on this story. But he knew it was coming.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, I think, as guys get to be veterans, they understand. Like they're all, and again, I think it's easier, just comes with experience. Just deal with it. I mean, most athletes know better than anybody else when they've had a bad game. You know, like Jason Milne gets torched deep 3 times for touchdowns, and Reid Wilkins requests him after the game.
Someone's going to want to talk to you.
Jay's not thinking, oh, he's going to ask me about that tackle for a 1-yard loss I got on the second play of the game. So it might not be something that you want to talk about, but you also probably would realize, well, I can either do it now or sleep on it and stew over it and then have to get asked at the next practice. So you might as well do it.
Just one more before we get, I know we got to get the break, but CJ Sims, when he took the safety in Regina and cost the team the win.
Yep.
You know, Chris Jones came out to me. He goes, I know he's going to be requested, but just stand there and make sure they're not asking him tough questions. I said, Coach, they're going to ask him tough questions.
Yeah.
He cost the team the game.
Mm-hmm.
And CJ went, and I warned CJ, and that's what you do as the media guy. Hey, you know what's coming.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep it respectful, be a professional. And you just remind him of that. And he went out there and he was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I screwed up. I forgot that it was a point if you took a knee in the end zone.
See, and I think, and this is part of the dance of the whole thing, right? Like to me, and this hasn't happened very often, but it has happened. I'm trying to think of an example because it doesn't happen a lot. Like you as the media relations guy, you hover. Okay, so Reid Wilkins is there. CJ, you gave up a single on a kickoff. What were you thinking? He answers. Next question. Well, were you not aware of the rule or did you forget? Okay, he answers. Maybe there's a third question. Then it's you. Then a media relations guy like Hernan might. Then if there's a fourth question about the play, then Hernan might say, "Hey guys, asked and answered. What else you got for CJ?" And I think that would be fine in that situation. You know, after the first question, or you saying ahead of time, don't ask him about that play, I'd say, no, Hernan, you can beat it, pal. We got to ask about that play. But if he's given reasonable answers and has nothing else to say, then I think it's okay for the media relations guy to say, yeah, CJ's covered that, guys. Anything else for him?
I did that once on the road. I won't say the reporter's name, but he was going into the fourth question. It was the same thing. I said, okay, let's change it. You know?
Yeah.
Because the player was looking at me like, seriously, I've answered this 3 times already. Keeps asking me the same question in a different way. So that's when you kind of jump in. But you don't want to do that too often because then you're not letting people do their jobs.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's the give and take. And I've had conversations off to the side with like not heated, but just with media relations people saying, hey, I just want to clarify, you know, if I make a request, is this the way to do it? Or, hey, last year this happened. Is that still happening this year? And they're not combative. You just, it's part of the professional environment. Smitty the Welder, honest question. What's the biggest story in Edmonton right now? Probably Jason Mills' play of the day.
Seems to be getting a lot of attention. My Twitter's blowing up.
Twitter is out of control.
Yeah.
We will have more from McDavid, more from Matthias Ekholm. Jed Roberts is coming up at the bottom of the hour. Here's the 4 o'clock break.
I'm going to go Miami Dolphins +1 on the road this week. Tyreek Hill, I saw a report this morning, Tyreek Hill trending towards playing. And not that I necessarily love HM, but he's trending towards playing as well. So you're getting a healthy Dolphins offense going into week 1, which, let's be honest, how often have we said that about this team, right? And usually when they're healthy, it's a pretty good offense.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
World-renowned top psychic medium and the star of Meet the Frasers, Matt Fraser comes to River Cree Resort and Casino on September 12th and 13th for a couple of special live shows. Join Matt for 2 nights of healing, hope, and laughter. Matt has become a trusted figure for people seeking closure, guidance, and connection with their loved ones. Don't miss Matt Fraser live at River Cree Resort and Casino September 12th and 13th. Both shows are 18+. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Lobsterfest is back at the Canadian Brewhouse. Saturday, October 4th at 6 p.m. A pound and a half of fresh Atlantic lobster with all the fixins for just $49.99. Pair it with a stein of Alexander Keith. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
Looking for a smart alternative to heating and cooling your home? Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson, your cold climate heat pump specialists. We'll explain how Trane heat pumps offer a reliable, cost-effective heating and cooling solution. Order your Trane heat pump now and take advantage of the Canada Greener Homes Loan Initiative. Trane, it's hard to stop a Trane. From the most experienced HVAC company around, family owned and operated for nearly 50 years. Visit weiss-johnson.com.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Carlos Alcaraz is through to the U.S. Open finals after a straight sets win over Novak Djokovic. He now waits for the winner of Jannik Sinner and Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime. That match is set for 5 p.m. Edmonton time. Week 14 in the CFL kicks off tonight as the Ottawa Redblacks host the BC Lions. You can catch all the action on TSN starting at 5:30. The Labor Day rematch goes on Saturday as the Edmonton Elks welcome in the Calgary Stampeders to Commonwealth Stadium in the final game of the CFL triple header. The Green and Gold kickoff show gets you set for all the action starting at 4 with Matthew Wanick and Jay Milne. And one last note from the CFL as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers announced that receiver Dalton Schoen will miss the rest of the season due to a torn ACL. The NFL rolls on this evening from Brazil as the Kansas City Chiefs and LA Chargers battle it out. Game time is 6 o'clock. And to the soccer pitch, Canada defeated Romania 3-0 in their first friendly of the international break. Jonathan David, Ali Ahmad, and Nico Seeger scored the goals for Canada. They will play Wales on Tuesday to close out the international window. Hour 2 of the Reid Wilkins Show is coming up next.
Thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. I am Reid Wilkins, Jason Milne, the glue guy. With me every day, Hernan Salas filling in for Zachary Kubish today on our technical desk. Always great to have Hernan around. Oilers skating today, Captain Skate. We're going over some comments from Connor McDavid. You'll also hear some comments from Matthias Ekholm, who's always interesting to listen to. Jed Roberts coming up at the bottom of the hour. Our Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week is today. We got words of the day still ahead. My goodness, we're just keeping you informed and hopefully a little bit entertained as well. Sorry, Jay.
No, I was just going to say, Library Pat says, I can't speak for anyone else, but this inside stuff is pretty interesting to me. And Todd in YYC has a pretty specific question.
Okay.
He says, hey, guys, behind the scenes question. Who books the captain's skates and who runs them?
Well, okay. They're being run. I don't even know who it is. It's a hockey coach, but it can't be one of the Oilers coaches. As I said, Knobloch was sitting up in the perch at the downtown community arena today. I think, let's face it, it's a non-team activity that is still a kind of team activity. Like the ice is, the ice is available. I doubt Connor McDavid and Leon got to take $5 from everybody to get the ice. I think it's still. I've never even asked this myself. It's still Oilers ice time.
Pass around the hat.
Yeah,
in the
I don't
locker
think
room.
it was they were leaving from the rink today. Connor was going up to up to Mangiapane, like, hey Andrew, you owe 20, man. You've come out 4 times.
You didn't pitch yesterday.
Yeah, you didn't pitch in yesterday. What are you doing?
Think there's locker room beers?
There might be.
Maybe.
There might be. But Smitty the Welder, what's the biggest story in Edmonton right now? I think it probably is waiting for the McDavid contract extension. Now, look, I guess when I probably don't follow real world news as much as I used to. Like I know on the weekend there was a shooting 2 blocks from where I live.
I saw
on
that.
Jasper Ave. I look out my window and the number 5 bus is going down my avenue. I'm like, that doesn't belong here.
Something's off.
Something's off. So, and I know there's a civic election. Is that next month already?
I believe.
Speaking of which, Tim Cartmell's the brother of Jamie Cartmell, who's the Oilers media relations person. He's running for mayor, right? I think he's one of the people running for mayor. So, but I've said this before, the great and very wise Sid Smith, not just one of the most important people to me in my broadcasting career, one of the most important people to me in my life, who was the program director most of my tenure at CHED, said on any given day, the Oilers aren't just the biggest sports story in the city, they're the biggest story in the city. Or, one of. If it's a game day, it's probably the biggest story of the day. And if they're in the playoffs, it's the biggest story every day. That's no disrespect to the other things that are going on and, other things that are happening in the city. But on a constant basis, the Oilers are one of the biggest things in northern Alberta or in oil country, which refers to where, if there's an Oiler fan waking up in Sao Paulo, Brazil today, maybe has tickets to the game tonight, is probably still checking on what McDavid said.
Right.
Right? So, that's just the landscape and the passion there is for the team. So, is the biggest story in Edmonton right now waiting for McDavid's extension in some regard, and it hasn't even happened. The story is that we're waiting for it. That's, we don't even have a date for it. There's a date for the civic election.
Do you think when he signs, there will be celebrations and people will embrace on the streets and hug each other? And
will there be a gathering in the plaza, the moss pit?
I was actually saying this to Reid earlier. when he signs, there's going to be more questions than there is celebrations. That's my gut feeling.
I don't think if it's a longer-term deal. Like, if he signs for 6, 7, or 8.
But I don't think he will.
If he signs for 4, that's still fairly significant. You got him into, till he's 33?
Right. But then, I thought he was going to take a hometown discount, and he didn't. But
why should he? He shouldn't.
I'm not saying he should.
Okay.
I'm saying take as much as you can get. I mean, rich people get that way because they like to make money.
Right.
It doesn't get that way because they're loose and
they keep giving
fancy
money
free
away
with their money. They like money. When you have a lot of money, you like to make more of it.
Right.
It's not, and that's not an issue, especially as a professional athlete. But I honestly think when it's a 4-year, whatever it is, $16.5 million. Oh wow, that was a little. I thought it was going to be less if he's staying doing a shorter term. Like that's going to be funny to see how that will get. Because now the biggest question is, when's it going to happen, and is he going to stay?
Yeah.
But then when it's official, why didn't he sign longer?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Right? Which, I mean, they're all fair questions. I'm just bringing it to light.
That's the beauty of it.
Exactly.
That's the beauty of people following the team. Of course, Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Why limit your choices when you can have it all? Play Alberta, your go-to app for casino games, sports betting, and lottery. All in one place with easy access to real money games. You can enjoy everything Alberta has to offer right at your fingertips. Download Play Alberta now and start playing today. Yeah, so Smitty the Welder also putting in the nasty chat. And Smitty, do I owe Smitty another hug, or was it just the one hug? The one hug did happen.
The one hug did happen.
Should there be an annual hug?
I think it should happen.
There should be.
Yeah.
So now we're in year 2. There has to be a hug between now and August 31st.
Correct.
He says, how does he not think it's going to be a distraction? Great question. Here's McDavid answering, the possibility of waiting for a contract being a distraction.
If guys can't play hockey because people are talking outside the room, then I said yesterday, it's probably not the line of work for you. So it's a loud market. It's a story, sure, but we've played through coaching changes, GM changes, winning streaks, freezing cold streaks where we can't win a game, and it's just as loud. So it's your guys' job to talk and write stories, and everybody understands that, and it's our job to play hockey. And if we can't do our job because you guys have to do your job, then what are we really doing here? So.
Well, I mean, that's true. Like, if this drags into the season, are the Oilers still going to be able to play games because they're being asked about it? He's kind of saying shame on us if we can't.
And
rightfully
so.
Welcome to being a pro athlete. Even in the smallest fan base in the league, you're playing in front of 15,000 fans a night. Slav Kornick was talking to I don't want to make it sound like I'm buddies with Slav, okay? The kid over at Global. But he was in Sunrise each of the last 2 years, and he said you left the rink and it was like you couldn't tell there was even a game, let alone a championship. Whereas it's partying in the streets here, all 14 playoff wins the Oilers had and 15 the year before. But even if you're, even if you're a Florida Panther and maybe you can walk around. Well, who's the guy? Diardo, that Rick Nash could go in public, but people still care.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to deal with there's scrutiny on what I'm doing. So I think that I really don't know if it would become a distraction. It would be talked about a lot.
I think it would be misconstrued as a distraction.
Right.
But what goes on in the locker room, nobody here would ever know about.
Yeah, because that's why I asked Joaquin. He's been in a pro room. And
Sure.
He said he went through it with Doug Wade and Bill Guerin.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you know what's going on, but it doesn't really affect you. You're worried about your career. You're worried about what you have to do on the ice.
Right.
He goes, yeah, it sucks losing Dougie Wade and Bill Guerin. He goes, but it's out of our control. We worry about what we can control. And he goes, they're buddies, and you're always talking to them. And deep down inside, sure, you're like, man, it sucked to lose Dougie Wade. But he goes, Joaquin can correct me if he's listening, but he goes, for the players, it's not that big of a distraction. He's been in the room, right?
And I guess when we're talking about distraction, does it actually hurt their performance on the ice? of course, if they're out in public or family or friends might say stuff to them, but that's just, again, what did I like how McDavid put it? It's a loud market when it comes to the Oilers.
And
well,
said,
you're gonna hear stuff no matter what.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Has Connor McDavid ever been a villain?
No.
He's always been beloved.
Have Oilers fans ever been mad at him? Like, not really.
No.
Even when he blatantly misses a back check or screws up, like it's a
blame
free
Stu
pass.
Skinner.
Man.
Yeah, it's blame
free
everybody
pass.
else but him.
Yeah.
But is he prepared to become a villain?
Ooh, boy.
Do you think he's got that? Is he ready to go NWO here and totally slip and go over to the WCW?
Does he become Hollywood Connor McDavid?
Exactly.
But Jay, I'll be honest, I don't think he cares. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's a 2-year deal, a 4-year deal, or he moves on after this year, I don't think he really cares. He's doing what's best for him and his family.
Yeah. I don't even. Could he ever be a villain in Edmonton? I don't know. It would depend if he left, how he left, and who he played for, and what he said about Edmonton on the way. Remember there was that one Gretzky interview that all of a sudden surfaced where he kind of said something that could be construed as being bad about Edmonton. I can't remember even what it was. Maybe it was more about Pocklington, but I don't know. I'm not of that mindset at all. That's an interesting question, but the distraction question is an interesting one. And just because you're being pestered about something doesn't mean it's actually a distraction. Like you could ask Darnell Nurse or somebody about it every day. Doesn't mean it's distracting him. Just means he's dealing with it and moving on.
Like, do you guys think that this is distracting Leon Draisaitl from him preparing for the season?
He won't be able to one-time the puck, Hernan. I bet you he shoots wide every time. Yeah.
I think really the only person you could say this would be a distraction to would be Connor McDavid.
Yes.
And
because they're going to keep hounding him.
Rightfully so.
Imagine there's no deal sign, guys, and he goes to his first game in Toronto.
Well, they might just tell him to bring his belongings and stay there.
Just imagine the media frenzy there, though, for his first game in Toronto this year, if he's not signed.
Well, you had a hot take earlier.
Oh, I don't think he would ever play for the Maple Leafs. I don't think he would want to.
No, but if something, September 5th, or October 5th, and this isn't done, you had said, and this is a hypothetical, but I think you said something along the lines of Connor would say, if Connor said to management, look, guys, I don't want to talk about this during the season. Let's just wait till the end of the year and we'll talk about it then. If it's not done. Right?
That would be crushing. Oiler fans will not be able to be calm all season long.
Do you have to say, well, Connor, we're going to keep you out of the lineup and trade you? That's worst case scenario. People are freaking out that I'm even joking about that.
Oh, boy. That would be worst case scenario if he just said in October, you know what? Like Jay said.
Let's leave it alone.
Leave it alone. I'll revisit this in June.
Yeah, I don't want to be a distraction.
Yeah.
McDavid asked about the off-season changes today as well.
You got younger and a little bit faster, maybe. It's a big jump. It's a big jump to be asked to not only come and play in the NHL, but be an impact player and play in your top 6 or your top 9. It's a big ask. And, obviously Sav's played a couple games and, it's going to be new for Howard, but he seems like he's capable. So, that side of it's exciting. But again, it's a big ask. I know what it's like to make that jump. It's not easy. It's a tough league, the hardest league in the world, and it takes a little bit of time. So, with that being said, it's exciting to have, some fresh faces here and see how excited they are to be a part of it. And it's exciting for guys that have been here for a while.
Yeah, obviously Savoy and Howard, the younger guys that you'd be talking about there. Mangiapane, a newer face, has obviously more experience. So, yeah, he said they got younger and faster. Let's hope so.
Well, Mike Howard and Matt Savoy are on your starting lineup. You got younger.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, Corey Perry, great scorer, was not fast, but still very effective at what he did. Obviously Connor Brown departed as well. So, yeah, some fair observations there, but we'll see how this all pans out.
And Ike Howard's not there, right?
No, he's not there right now.
No.
You can text us 780-218-9999. That is the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. You can email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com, Jay at edmontonsportstalk.com, and you can post in the nasty chat on YouTube and give us a thumbs up if you're there as well. If you're listening on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, we thank you. Let other people know where they can find Edmonton Sports Talk, where they can find Dustin Nielsen, Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas, me, Jason Milne. We're still fighting that battle, getting the word out there. We're not going anywhere, everybody. Year 2, we went from 7 hours of live programming to 12, plus the Oilers and Elks pre and post. Year 3, we now have the Nielsen Show, 6 to 9 every morning on Cruise FM, which has no impact on all the streaming stuff and the content. Everything else is the same. So let people know how we can be found. Any text you want to get to, Jay?
Yeah.
Before I drop in some back home here?
Timber Woodsman asked, when is he going to get sick of getting asked the question?
Well, he's probably already sick of it, but again, he's really only been asked it on 3 occasions. Okay, end of last season, sure, but that was, pretty early. He got asked it at the development camp. I was still on holidays, right? Was that the Wednesday or the Thursday of my second week off? Not the development camp, the orientation
camp in Calgary.
He got asked it yesterday in 2 apparently one-on-one interviews that he and or his agent agreed to do. So he brought that on himself. And he got asked stuff today. So, yeah, he probably feels I don't know if he's sick of it per se. I think he would probably feel as if he's said what needs to be said and has nothing to add until there's a decision. But as we were talking about, he's not going to be out there daily putting himself in a situation to be asked about it. If somebody sees him pumping gas and asks him, well, that I have no control over that. Or do I, Timber Woodsman?
EMG says, do you think Connor is thinking more about term or the money?
Well, I asked him that, didn't I? Let's play that clip again.
Trying to come up with a solution that works for everybody. As I said, I put everything I have into this and deserve to be paid what I feel is fair. With that being said, this is a salary cap. And my only desire is to win. So trying to figure out that balance is tricky.
Okay, so actually what I asked him was, you're talking about planning out the next decade of your life. Does that mean that the length of the contract is more important than your cap hit? And that's the answer that he gave. So he kind of gave an answer more focused on the money there, whereas an earlier answer, he talked more about planning out the next several years of his life.
I think he did, because he did allude to the salary. This is a salary cap.
Yeah.
So although I could take 20% of it, my desire is to win. So if I take all that money and wrap it up in myself, how is this organization going to be able to go out and get better players?
Mm-hmm.
So there is that balance. So, and honestly, why would he sign anything more? Why would he sign long-term? It would make zero sense from a business perspective. Zero.
I agree.
With a cap increasing, right? And with a longer term, you're probably going to be at a lower, monetary value. It would make zero sense to him to do that.
Yeah, I mean, here's a very simple way to look at it. He signs for 4 years. He gets incredibly well paid for 4 years. He gets to play with Draisaitl for another 5 because there's still this year where they're both Oilers. And then still in his early 30s, when the cap has likely gone way up, he gets the opportunity to make even more and then decide again if he wants to stay in Edmonton or not. I mean, that's a very simple way to look at it.
Yeah.
Do you guys think, like looking ahead, signs 4-year deal, the Oilers get 1 cup in these next 5 years? Do you think Oiler fans will be okay after the contract's done as long as they have that cup?
No.
For him,
Depends how he leaves and for who.
Depends how he leaves?
Yeah, if he ever leaves, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I think.
You're saying, they would, hey, happy trails, Connor.
You brought us a cup.
Thanks for bringing the cup back to Edmonton. We wish you the best in...
go play for Dallas.
Yeah, we wish you... I was going to say Dallas. That's weird.
Well, because that's one of the teams that are rumored he would ever
We wish you the best in Dallas. Never. Even if Even if he's like, look, I poured my heart and soul into this city. I love Edmonton. I'm taking my talents to Dallas.
I just bought the Cowboys from Jerry Jones because I have so much money.
That would never happen. There would never be, I guess, a amicable split.
Okay, we got to get to a break here. Jed Roberts is coming up. Jed is a great Edmonton sports fan as well as a Double E alum, so he'll have some thoughts on McDavid and spitting and on the Labor Day rematch. Here's a sports update with Hernan.
Carlos Alcaraz is on the way to the U.S. Open Finals after a straight sets win over Novak Djokovic. Now he waits the winner of Jannik Sinner and Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime. That match gets going at 5 p.m. Edmonton time. Week 14 in the CFL kicks off tonight as the Ottawa Redblacks host the BC Lions. You can catch all the action on TSN starting at 5:30. The Labor Day rematch goes on Saturday as the Edmonton Elks welcome in the Calgary Stampeders in the final game of the CFL triple header. The Green and Gold kickoff show gets you set for all the action starting at 4 with Matthew Wannick and Jay Milne right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. And one last note from the CFL as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers announced that receiver Dalton Schoen will miss the rest of this season due to a torn ACL. In the NFL, this evening from Brazil, it's the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the LA Chargers. Game time for this game, 6 o'clock. And to the majors, the Toronto Blue Jays and New York Yankees meet up for a 3-game set. First pitch from Yankee Stadium goes at 5:05. Former Green and Gold legend Jed Roberts joins the Reid Wilkins Show.
With Lieutenant Eric.
Mike Garafolo is going to be our NFL insider Fridays at 7:45 this year.
I don't remember a game, especially with the Cowboys. The ball was in the air off deflections or defensive player or whatnot that had the chance to be picked off as many times as it did, and the Eagles didn't pick it off. And I do think the Eagles made some adjustments. Losing Jalen Carter when you least expect it, you're going to have to make some. So I think defensively they did make some adjustments, and they got better as the game went along.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
When you cater with Royal Pizza, you're getting the same great pizzas, pastas, and salads you love, just bigger and built for a crowd. Perfect for teams, offices, or parties, Royal Pizza's catering brings real value around $10 per person. Delicious, high quality, and easy. If you like their pastas, you'll love their catering pastas even more. Visit royalpizza.ca or contact your local store for exact pricing and details.
So come on home, Royal Pizza, still making it great.
World-renowned top psychic medium and the star of Meet the Frasers, Matt Fraser comes to River Cree Resort and Casino on September 12th and 13th for a couple of special live shows. Join Matt for 2 nights of healing, hope, and laughter. Matt has become a trusted figure for people seeking closure, guidance, and connection with their loved ones. Don't miss Matt Fraser live at River Cree Resort and Casino September 12th and 13th. Both shows are 18+. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
September is here. Although summer's entering the 7th inning stretch, the Jays are in full swing. Be ready for the baseball playoffs. And when the fall season arrives, create space with Sentinel Storage, official storage provider of the Toronto Blue Jays. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Connor McDavid, no update on his contract extension.
Nothing really to add. I mean, nothing else to say. You know, taking our time, and that's going to be the answer for at least a little bit here. So we'll see.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. Of course, Blue Jays, big series against the Yankees starts a little about half an hour. Tennis in about half an hour. Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime in the semis at the U.S. Open. Elks tomorrow. I'm calling it a must-win against the Calgary Stampeders in the Labor Day rematch. So a lot of interesting things to discuss, and we'll touch on many of them with our next guest. He is our voices of the game for Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. We're more than just plywood. We offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. With a huge selection of hardwoods and knowledgeable staff, we're here for all your DIY needs. Windsor Plywood Leduc, the experts you need to know. Double E alum, great member of the Edmonton community, and, of course, a regular here on the Reid Wilkins Show, Jed Roberts checking in. Jed, it's Reid and Jay. How are you?
I'm good. Yourselves?
We're doing very well. Always great to have you on. We got a lot to talk about, buddy. I mean, look, you follow, you're a former Double E, but you follow the Oilers extremely closely. You go to a lot of home games throughout the course of the season. But as an ex-athlete, too, so you often have a unique perspective. Like, are you drawn into this waiting for a McDavid extension thing, or is that not something you spend too much time stewing about? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that's the biggest domino, right? Like, everybody wants to know, A, is he resigning, which I think he will, and B, how long, like the length of term. I think he'll sign a short-term extension, and then we'll see what happens. You got to feel for the guy, right? Like, he's willed this team to 2 straight Stanley Cup appearances, and they don't have anything to show for it. So I think he's made it pretty clear what he thinks should happen to management, and I think it's in the ball's in management's court right now, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm waiting just like everybody else. I'm really keen to see what happens. I'm excited. I can't wait for this hockey season to start.
Okay, one of the things that has come up, and he was asked about it today. Distraction. And he said, look, if you can't play in Edmonton without knowing that you're being talked about, then you can't really play here, probably in Canada. I mean, you've been in a pro dressing room, certainly with the Double E, there would have been stories, about trades, new guys, off-field stuff. What constitutes a locker room distraction? Like, did you ever actually go through one where it's like, oh man, this crap's getting to us? Or does stuff like this not really seep into the dressing room?
Well, it's not really. It's kind of apples and oranges, right? Like, because we're talking the Canadian Football League, and it's such a small, the whole salary cap is basically what McDavid makes in half a season, right? So, I mean, it's not really even the same thing. But I mean, as far as distractions go, I think McDavid kind of hit the nail on the head. You're probably in one of the toughest hockey markets in the world in terms of, like, there's no other market in Canada, maybe. Well, I'm biased because I live here, but it's just an incredible place to play. Everybody knows everything about you. And I think Edmontonians do a pretty good job of, like, leaving the guys alone in public and letting them live their lives. And, it's not like Toronto where you can't even show your face. Here everybody kind of gets it. And I think McDavid respects that. I think that also, you only get so much time to play. And I think that everybody kind of understands that on the team. If it wasn't for McDavid, they probably don't even make it. So as far as distractions go, I think that he's right. I think that you've made it to that level of hockey or sport or whatever it is that you play. You've learned how to deal with that and how to put those distractions. I mean, distractions are kind of a thing that, you only allow it to bother you if it's something that, those guys know each other pretty well. They've spent a lot of time together. Those guys grew up together. So, I mean, if anybody knows what's in McDavid's heart, it's those guys. So I don't really think they're as bothered about it. I think they're probably more bothered about it by people asking about it,
Right.
Everybody wants to know. Nobody knows. So, like, outside of that room, nobody knows what's going on. So we'll have that. It'll keep being a thing until something is done.
Okay, changing gears a little bit, going to the football field. Jalen Carter was kicked out of the game for spitting last night between the Cowboys and the Eagles. I heard you last week on this show tell a story about punching a guy in the nuts. Can I say that? Yeah, I just said it.
Yeah.
Did you ever witness a spitting incident? And that's kind of like that's something that's really off limits, isn't it? Like is that not something that if a guy spits, it's like, oh man, like we can't justify that at all. What did you think of that?
Yeah, like I've seen it. I like guys that I played with for a long time would do it, and I wasn't a big, like that's a little bit over the for me. But some guys, they do it because they know it'll elicit a response, and I think that if people watching at home saw what Dak did to kind of precipitate that, I think they understand there's always a beginning and middle and an end. And too often, the American public or Canadian viewing public don't get to see the beginning. And I think last night, because there's so many camera angles in the NFL now, it's very difficult to pull anything off. Because they've got cameras like hidden all over. They got cameras that probably in the official's flag, for heaven's sake, right? So it's very difficult to get away with anything. And so, sure enough, you see Dak kind of looking at him, and he spits between the alignment there in Jalen's direction and kind of winks at him, and it's just trying to kind of get him going. And I think he knew that would get him going because, everybody knows how intense Jalen Carter is. And so, of course, like he wasn't going to back down and take that. So he just walked right up and spit on his chest and bang, he gets thrown out of the game. But that's a rivalry. That NFC East is just a crazy division, right? Like the Redskins, the Eagles, the Cowboys, they all hate each other, right? So it's like having Labor Day every game. It's awesome to watch, though.
Jed Roberts, Double E alum, joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Jed, you got Jay. I'm going to bring this back into Edmonton in terms of football. And look, the depth chart came out today for tomorrow's game, the Labor Day rematch down at the Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. Niles Morgan out. Jake Ceresna out. Nick Anderson still out. I mean, these are three of the best players on that defensive side of the ball. Is there any way that this team can overcome these defensive losses, Jed?
Well, you talked about like how important those guys are as players, but let's talk about the leadership that those guys provide, right? Like we're talking about Grey Cup winners, in the case of, if Brinkman can go or if he can't go, and Ceresna and Niles has been kind of the heart and soul of that. So, I mean, the guys that they're bringing in, this kid from South Dakota, he's got big shoes to fill, and you can't really replace leadership like that. But it's an odd-shaped ball, and you get odd-shaped bounces, so anything can happen, especially in a rivalry game. So the existing leaders, the ones that remain, are going to have to pick up the slack and pull everybody and will this team toward a positive outcome. And I'm optimistic. I think that in the confines of Commonwealth, the brick field of Commonwealth, it's a different ball game. It's not like playing down in Calgary where you got a hostile environment. I'm optimistic. I think this team's got a pretty good shot to win. They just have to play their game. They have to force turnovers and they have to capitalize on the other team's mishaps. They can't be dropping passes. They can't be missing interceptions. They've got to stay in their lanes and their pass rush, and they've got to be disciplined. And I like the addition of Donald there from the Cardinals. I don't know if he's going to play this week or whatever, but that's a step in the right direction. Like I think they need some help along the O-line, and I'm optimistic. I'm giving this team a pretty good chance to win. I like the chances. It's a rivalry, and rivalries are strange. You always see something you didn't expect, and with these new faces, we're certainly going to get a lot of that.
Well, I think you nailed it with what you said about limiting your mistakes and keeping the ball in your hands. Because essentially, I think that was what got them last week in Calgary on Monday. In the second half on Monday's game, Calgary's defense switched the way that they were doing things. They rushed three. They spied Cody Fajardo. They were bringing blitzers from different positions, but they were only rushing three and they were spying Fajardo, and that really seemed to give Edmonton quite a bit of headaches offensively. If they were to do that again, because I don't see why they wouldn't, because it was quite successful, but if they were to do that again, what's the best way, as somebody that played on that defensive line, where I'm sure you were a part of the same scheme, rush three? I mean, you played against Doug Flutie. That guy could use his legs. What's the best way to beat a defense that is trying to spy your quarterback, rushing three, and bringing blitzers from all over the field?
Run the ball down their throat.
Yeah.
If you can't run the ball, you got nothing. And that's what the problem is right now. I think last week they just didn't establish any sort of run game, and when you can't run the ball, that's what gives the defense a chance to kind of tee off on you and give you these exotic looks, right? And also take what they give you. Like, stop trying to force the ball downfield. throw the underneath, make them react up, and maybe a guy will miss. Make a guy miss, right? Like, that's kind of where you miss Dunbar. And, when you're losing your marquee guys and you don't have those guys you can dump the ball off to, because Fajardo's only as good as the people around him in this offense. And, when you got guys that are, pulling up lame and you don't have those big playmakers to get those after catch yards, it's tough, right? So you kind of saw that. I also think, and to add to your point there, when you've got a chance to score points on a field goal, you've got to take them. You know what I mean? Like, that's a momentum killer. Like, if you miss a field goal in a rivalry game like that, that's, and then you missed our easy one and you make the hard one, which, make it make sense. So,
Right.
Kicking game's going to play a big part in this. They gave up a big return, and, typically it's very difficult to win games when you're giving up big returns like that. So they've got to cut down on the mistakes in terms of, like, staying in your tackling lanes and keep the guy, because they've got a dangerous return game. And I think Edmonton's got to get their own going, which they can win this special teams battle and win the turnover battle. I like this team's chances.
All right, Jed, I'll close with this one. Who's the mouthiest Calgary Stampeder of all time?
Of all time?
Yeah. Well, from your experience.
Well, and he was a lesser known guy, and this was the guy that I ended up punching in the chin when he moved on to Winnipeg. But his name is Bobby Pandolitis, and he was an offensive lineman, and he was a big dude, and he was very strong and stuff, and he would hold me. But he stopped holding me after I punched him in the chin. And I didn't get flagged for that either.
So what, you went up under his helmet, or did you have his helmet back
a
little bit?
Just caught him right underneath the chin there, like sort of made it look like a rip move, and it just caught him right in the chin. And he let me go, like it was like reflex. And I got to do this more often. Yeah, I don't recommend you try this at home, kids.
Yeah. Don't. Yeah, Jed was at another level. Everybody, don't. Plus, he could stand up for himself if somebody came back at him.
Jed, so you're starting now. You started with Salisbury Sabres. You're a coach out there.
Yeah, we play tonight against the Archbishop O'Brien Crusaders. They're a very good team. They've got a quarterback that arguably has the strongest arm in Northern Alberta. They like to throw the ball. They throw lights out. So we got our work cut out for us. It's a great matchup. We're going to be out at Emerald Hills. And if anybody's not doing anything Friday night lights out there in Sherwood Park, come on out. We'd love to see you.
Right on. Okay, Jed, have a good one. I enjoy watching the game tomorrow. Of course, we'll have you on next week as well. Take care, buddy. Really appreciate it.
All right. Hey, happy Labor Day rematch weekend.
Right on. That is Jed Roberts checking in here on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne. He's been he's been with us for a year now, which has been pretty cool. Let's quickly look, Jay, because I'm man oh man. I think that the Elks are huge underdogs tomorrow just because of A, their own injuries, and B, the quality of Calgary's team. I mean, Calgary, if people don't think they're the best team in the league, they probably think they're the second best. They have beaten the Riders a couple times already. All right, so when you're looking at the depth chart, now O'Donnell's going to dress.
Yep.
Do you think, what does your Milne intuition tell you
I don't
about
think
how often he plays?
I don't think he'll play. That's what
Think he stands on the sidelines?
I think he's a suitable person to come in and be a backup. The most notable name on that offensive line, and there's no disrespect to him, but I think he was being used in an improper way.
Yeah.
Is Phil Grahovic is not on that depth chart.
He's the gentleman, the snap hit for the fumble.
Well, and the guy that they're using and motioning in the backfield, it is just it's just bunk. I don't understand why that is. So essentially, from seeing that, I don't know if that's going to be in the playbook, which would make me a happy camper because it's ineffective. It's very ineffective. And oh, by the way, it says, hey, look at us. We're about to run the ball. That's about the best thing it does. So maybe this will open up the running game for them in an odd turn of events.
All right. And Beard and Cordy have swapped places?
No, they sent out the original.
What's actually, which one? Do I have the wrong one?
Let me see.
Which one do I have?
Yeah, no, that's right. So Beard's still at center.
They sent it out
earlier.
So, okay,
Incorrect.
so this is, they're in the same spot.
That is correct.
Okay, sorry.
No, I got burnt the same way. I'm like, what?
Me too, man. I was like, holy, we got to talk about this.
Okay, but Serezna's out, maybe for a long time, maybe the rest of the season. And then two of the way I look at this, three of their best, maybe their three best players on defense aren't playing.
Correct.
Anderson's been out for a while. Now Morgan's out, and now Serezna's out.
Well, Nick Anderson's out.
Did I say Anderson?
But you said it. Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about Robbie Anderson. No, I always want to call him Robbie Anderson. Robbie Smith. Cheapers. Yes, you're right, Reid. Absolutely. And so now Mogensen steps in at middle linebacker.
Okay.
Which hasn't played a game this year. First year with the team. Spent some time last year with the Dallas Cowboys, but they seem to be pretty high on him.
Okay.
Massive shoes to fill.
But massive shoes to fill. Now, DeBlanco's still, he's kind of been coming along.
Well, he's their most tenured linebacker.
Well, that's true. He would be. All right. Gerard says, when I played for AOB, we used to beat Sal for fun. What era was that? I don't know. Well, I honestly want to know because I don't know. You can just give us the years.
Let me guess.
Where were you again?
Facey.
You weren't involved in that at all. Well, AOB's in Edmonton.
I played AOB. I played Facey.
But they're the one kind of on the way to Capilano, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Zip used to teach there.
The alma mater of Matthew Iwanek and Tom Gazzola.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
AOB used to play Lloyd sometimes in the North playoffs.
Because they'd be the same tier.
Yeah, tier 2.
Yeah.
I don't know what
What's
Lloyd's
their team name? AOB what?
Crusaders?
Oh,
what's
yes.
Lloyd Comp's team name?
Lloyd Comp?
Yeah.
Barons.
Yes. What about Holy Rosary?
Trojans.
Raiders.
When
I went to Lloyd, Holy Rosary was 9-man football in Saskatchewan, and then after I left, they joined the 12-man Alberta side. And I think they've won provincials a couple of times. Gerard going back to 93 to 95. That is that's out of the oldies file, Gerard.
Ian Babiak says, could someone tell me? Oh, supersized Indiana Jones did it. Yeah, the promo codes are now out again. $50 deposit. Use promo code YEG50 for a $50 free bet.
Yeah.
And then you can also do a second $50 deposit. Use promo code EST Sports.
And I think EST Casino still works this month as well with a $50 deposit.
I don't know. I've never been on that side of the thing.
Jasmine says AOB reminds me of brunch. I don't get it.
That's OEB.
Oh, that breakfast place.
Yes.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, Jasmine's probably sipping a PSL. By the way, Jay got in our fantasy league last night, he got 94 yards from Aubrey, the Dallas kicker.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So I have Lutz as my kicker, Allen is your quarterback, and Daniels as my quarterback this week.
Let's hope he gets you lots of yards.
Okay, we'll have a little bit more from Connor McDavid, comments from Matthias Ekholm as well. And, the Past the Pantry Athlete of the Week is coming up. Here's Hernan.
Carlos Alcaraz is through to the U.S. Open Finals after a straight sets win over Novak Djokovic. He awaits the winner of Yannick Sinner and Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime. That match is minutes away from Arthur Ashe Stadium. Week 14 in the CFL kicks off tonight as the Ottawa Redblacks host the BC Lions. You can catch all the action on TSN starting at 5:30. Labor Day rematch goes tomorrow as the Edmonton Elks welcome in the Calgary Stampeders in the final game of the triple header. The Green and Gold kickoff show gets you set for all the action starting at 4 with Matthew Iwanek and Jay Milne. And one last note from the CFL. Winnipeg Blue Bombers announced today that receiver Dalton Schoen will miss the rest of the season due to a torn ACL. The NFL rolls on this evening from Brazil as the Kansas City Chiefs and LA Chargers battle it out. Game time is 6 o'clock. And on the soccer pitch, Canada defeated Romania 3-0 in their first friendly of the international break. Jonathan David, Ali Ahmed, and Nico Seeger scored the goals for Canada. They will play Wales on Tuesday to close out the international window. The Reid Wilkins Show rolls on next here on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Hangout.
How big is the fitting? Fittings are huge. It's because if Cody played my clubs, he wouldn't hit the driver. You'd probably lose 40 yards on his driver because his shaft bends the way it's supposed to because Cody has like a nice swing where I get mine to the top and then I just rip at it as hard as I can. So if my shaft is getting loose, who knows where my club head is going to go, where Cody needs to crack the whip.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Win big this NFL season at the Canadian Brewhouse presented by Bud Light. You could win a trip to Super Bowl 60, plus prizes like smokers, Bud Light coolers, and a trip to an NFL home opener next season. Enjoy $1 off Bud Light and Budweiser tankers. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
All right. Thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Yeah, we'll play some of the hits from Connor McDavid's media availability today, Matthias Ekholm as well, before we sign off at 6 o'clock. We'll talk more about the Elks and the Stampeders. We love doing this segment, and we thank Pasta Pantry for being involved. It is the Athlete of the Week presented by Pasta Pantry. For over 30 years in Sherwood Park, Pasta Pantry serving hot, delicious comfort food made right in their kitchen. They do it fast so you can slow down. Their family at Pasta Pantry, when you go there, you're one of them. Check out Pasta Pantry in Sherwood Park, your home of the pregame meal.
All right. Well, we are pleased to be joined by this week's Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week. This is 11-year-old, a grade 6 student at Linwood Elementary School, Ajay Gounder. How are you doing today, Ajay?
Good. How are you?
Good. Are you excited to be the Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll set it up for everybody listening. You play U13 for the Edmonton Seahawks, and you also play U13 hockey. So football and hockey. Tell us what positions you play in both and what you like most about those sports, Ajay.
So in football, I play running back and punter, and in hockey, I play forward. And the thing I like football because you get to hit people. You get to hit people without getting in trouble. And hockey is just such a different sport from all the others. Just makes it a little bit funner.
You were nominated by your mom, Sarah, and she said that you have pride, hustle, and determination, and you use that motto in all places of life. So when you do you find that sports has taken you to a different appreciation of things in school? Has it helped with your school? Has it helped with your learning? And
Yeah.
what parts of the game of football off the field have helped you in that respect?
It helps me it helps me in like PE stay focused. It just helps me, to stay focused.
Well, that's a good thing. So you like roughhousing in football. That's good because that's the point of the game, Ajay. So who would be somebody that in football that you would say look up to or aspire to become like?
Either CJ Stroud or Joe Mixon.
Oh,
wow.
Interesting.
Okay. So C.J. Stroud, Houston Texans. Is that your favorite team, the Houston Texans?
Yep.
Okay. What made you a Texans fan, Ajay?
Just after watching them, them being one of the worst teams in the league, then becoming like a top 15 team in the league. Just
Well,
a bounce back.
I like that. I think C.J. Stroud's going to have a very impressive year. Now, this is interesting. You are nominated for the Youth Athlete of the Year. Is that correct?
Yep.
So this is through Sports Illustrated. I mean, I see you've moved on to the second round. You're currently first place in that. How can people, because our listeners are very passionate, they love seeing people like you that are putting it out there on the field, on the rink, in the school, helping your, coach, from what your mom says. I mean, you just sound like a great kid. How can people vote for you, Ajay?
Off of Facebook, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I have a link here, and I think it's athleteoftheyear.org, and that you would look for Ajay Gounder. So what would you win if you won this?
I would win $25,000, and I'm pretty sure another interview or like an ad, sports ad.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
What would be the first thing you buy, Ajay, if you received $25,000, young man?
I don't know, like new cleats or something.
Maybe a Nasty Club membership. That's our membership for our most loyal listeners. Okay, you're awesome to talk to. What about for hockey? What hockey players do you like, and who's your favorite team?
My favorite team is the Edmonton Oilers, and my favorite player is Connor McDavid.
Okay, so are you following all this contract stuff with him?
Yep. Yeah.
And what do you think?
I'm gonna be pretty sad if he doesn't sign back.
Okay.
When his contract ends.
And so you mentioned in football you like hitting people. Are you like that? Or maybe you're not old enough for hitting yet in hockey. What's the deal there?
I'm not old enough to hit, but I do play pretty physical.
Nice. Okay.
Hockey.
That's good to hear, man.
Well, I assume your favorite player would be Connor McDavid. Your favorite team's Oilers because your favorite color's blue. So I really appreciate you coming and joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. As you are the Pass the Pantry Athlete of the Week, you get a $25 gift certificate to Pass the Pantry as well as a custom Pass the Pantry Athlete of the Week hat. We will try and find a way to post this link. I'll maybe send it out on Edmonton Sports Talk socials so that people can go and vote for you, because as of right now, you're in first place in the wild card category. So we've got a lot of people here that care about things like this and care about you getting that $25,000 so you can get some new cleats.
Yeah.
All right, Ajay, this was great. Thank you, and congrats on being the Pass the Pantry Athlete of the Week.
Thank you.
Right on. Yeah, another great addition to our list of Pass the Pantry Athletes of the Week, which we've been doing. Are we up to 4 months now? Not quite that long. We've been doing it for a while now.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, so we've had some fun ones. We've had a variety of different sports. We've had, kind of the mainstream sports like hockey and football, like just with Ajay there. We've had, BMX. We've had the ancient martial arts or whatever it is.
Edmonton Historical Martial Arts.
Historical martial arts. So sell us the story, and we'll put your Athlete of the Week on. To nominate somebody, email Jay
at edmontonsportstalk.com.
Because I don't always see my emails, even when they're for my shifts, as we found out yesterday.
I put the link in the Nasty Chat. So if you want to copy paste that into your browser, it's simple. You simply click for them. That would be a huge deal for somebody. And just the way his mom described him, like, this is the kid that shows up early, stays late, helps his teammates, is a good teammate. They had some struggles as a team. They weren't the best. But he showed up with a positive attitude every day, and that carries you in life, as we all know. So good on you, Ajay. That is awesome. Go vote for him. The link's in the Nasty Chat.
All right, great stuff. That's our Pass the Pantry Athlete of the Week. I mentioned it, Pass the Pantry had a great booth at Taste of Edmonton, and you can go in person. Try their pasticcio or whatever you like out in Sherwood Park. 5 o'clock, more from McDavid, Ekholm, a little more on the Elks. Our words of the day. We are rolling along on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne.
I don't like that people are like making him out to be a villain in the negotiation. If anyone's like, well, how dare he needs to take less so that they can win. Give your head a shake. That's such a crazy attitude. You've seen enough ups and downs, and you lost twice in the finals, and there is zero obligation in that negotiation to take a hometown deal. It's like he should get what he's worth. He's the best player in the world.
Two Guys and a Goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
With Johnson, whoa.
Looking for a smart alternative to heating and cooling your home? Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson, your cold climate heat pump specialists. We'll explain how Trane heat pumps offer a reliable, cost-effective heating and cooling solution. Order your Trane heat pump now and take advantage of the Canada Greener Homes Loan Initiative. Trane, it's hard to stop a train. From the most experienced HVAC company around, family owned and operated for nearly 50 years. Visit weiss-johnson.com.
Back to school? Really?
Hey! Yay! Really? As things settle back into a routine in your home, you may need extra space. Sentinel Storage is here to help with a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
You know Dawn. Everyone knows Dawn. Dawn from
Frontier Cartage. That's right, it's me, Dawn from Frontier Cartage, where we're setting the standard for cartage service in Edmonton and beyond, offering city cartage, Alberta Highway, short haul deck, and more. My team and I are bringing our years of industry experience and expertise to every mile.
Join Dawn and her boys in a new chapter in transportation excellence, dedicated to exceptional service. Call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826.
At Mind 360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind 360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind 360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Carlos Alcaraz is through to the U.S. Open Finals after a straight sets win over Novak Djokovic. In moments from now, the other semi will take place as Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime is set to take on Jannik Sinner. Week 14 in the CFL kicks off tonight as the Ottawa Redblacks host the BC Lions. You can catch all the action on TSN starting at 5:30. Labor Day rematch goes tomorrow as the Edmonton Elks host the Calgary Stampeders down at Commonwealth Stadium. The Green and Gold kickoff show gets you set for all the action starting at 4 p.m. with Matthew Wanick and Jay Milne. And one last note from the CFL. Winnipeg Blue Bombers announced that receiver Dalton Schoen will miss the rest of the season due to a torn ACL. NFL rolls on this evening from Brazil as the Kansas City Chiefs and LA Chargers battle it out. Game time is 6 o'clock. And to the majors, the Toronto Blue Jays and New York Yankees meet up for a 3-game set. First pitch from Yankee Stadium goes at 5:05. Coming up next, more of the Reid Wilkins Show with buying or selling.
All right, taking you into your weekend. Jason Milne, Reid Wilkins, Hernan Salas along for the ride as well today, filling in for Zachary Kubish as we are with you until 6 o'clock. We got programming tomorrow at 4 o'clock, the Green and Gold kickoff show with Milne and Awanak to set up the Elks and the Stampeders. Of course, we are coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Spin to win Fridays at the Banquet. Spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. Details at thebanquetbar.com. Connor McDavid answered some questions today after the Oilers' informal skate at the downtown community arena. McDavid looking to the future as he mulls over the contract extension.
I mean, when you're trying to plan the next 3, 4, 6, 7, 9 years of your life, you don't just come up with, you don't just dream it up in one day. You know, you take your time, talk it over, think about it some more, talk it over again. You know, it's not something that I take lightly. It's not something that my family takes lightly. As I alluded to yesterday, you know, I put everything I have into this, into my career, just like everybody here. You know, you only get one chance to do it and to do it right, and that leads to you know, taking your time with it. You know, nothing else to really say.
Buying or selling, presented by Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. All right. I mean, significant, but you said, Reid, play that one again.
Yeah.
Play that one again where he lists off the what are you thinking there?
Well, I think there's just... there's a lot to unpack from that. Okay, the 3, 4, 6, 7, 9 comment.
Right.
That's very distinct in years, all the way up to 9, which would be the maximum.
Right.
That he could remain.
One
as
left
an Oiler.
and then 8 more.
Right. So that, you know, I think you kind of nailed it off the top. Is that Connor McDavid is quite thoughtful, at least in your opinion, and I think he's really just trying to figure out how. Look, I don't think there's not a part of me, one iota, that thinks that he's leaving. I think what he's trying to do is say, how can I capitalize the most for me and my family and make, I mean, look, he has been doing this since he's been 3 years old. This is what he's strived for his entire life. So good on him for taking some time to do this, and good on him for wanting to make as much money as he can. That is fine. But this takes some consideration. This takes some thoughtfulness to say, okay, I could take the max and this team would pay me, but what am I giving up on the fourth line? As he's clearly made this, I think his top priority is winning the Stanley Cup. After that, after this contract's, you know, extended, that's really the only thing Connor, like, what else does Connor McDavid have to do? I guess win the Olympics? Win an Olympic gold, right? But I think he'd hold the Stanley Cup in higher regard.
Probably, yeah.
So
well, he would, yeah.
If that is, you know, what he wants and that is the number one goal, then yeah, this might take some thoughtfulness and some consideration to figure out how to do it properly. Because he also said you only get one shot at this in your life. Now, if he signs a 4-year deal, well, he's going to get a second shot at it.
Right.
But,
well, if he signs an 8-year deal, he probably still keeps playing after that. And he's probably still one of the best players in the league.
That's true.
I know what you're saying. Yeah,
but this is big bucks. This is a lifelong project, and I have no problem with him taking a bit of extra. Taking as long as he wants. But obviously, Oilers fans would like to see this wrapped up for sure. For sure before the season, or ideally it would be before camp.
Right.
But where are you at? Buying or selling Connor McDavid signs or extends before camp starts?
I think it's before the season starts.
Not camp.
Yeah.
Why?
Maybe, well, just because he seems to really be taking his time, as he keeps saying. Here's the very first thing he said today when I just asked him a general question about it.
Nothing really to add. I mean, nothing else to say. Taking our time, and that's going to be the answer for at least a little bit here. So we'll see.
At least a little bit. I mean, he was really careful not to be too exact with anything. I mean, even when he was asked about, well, do you want short term? He's like, well, short term's in play, long term, no term. Well, if it's no term, but you know what I mean? Like he's just very careful. He's very careful. Like don't act committal, don't act really non-committal. Just be careful. He's thinking about everything. Maybe we'll never know everything he was thinking about. We probably won't.
And as you said yesterday, you said you don't know what's going through his mind. You don't know what's on his plate, what his thoughts hinge on or decisions. And that's fine. But what that no term, if this is a player who is going to be staying in Edmonton and extending, just trying to figure out how to do it, why bring up and why say no term? He didn't say that when you asked him that 3, 4, 6, 7, 9 year question that he answered.
Right.
So do you look at that and ask, well, why did he say that?
Well, I don't want to get too picky about everything either. I think he's just talking sometimes.
Well, and truthfully, it's probably tough to answer that question over and over again in different forms of the same question.
True.
Right?
McDavid, looking back on the summer.
Honestly, it's busy. Summers are busy, as everybody knows. My brother got married. Leo gets married. A little bit of traveling around for all that. So truthfully, not too much time to spend thinking about it. The summer was about celebrating other people, and it was exciting to be a part of those and to see the people I care about, have that special day. So that's what the summer was about.
So, there's another thing. A lot of Oilers fans are stewing about this all summer, and it wasn't a priority yet for Connor McDavid. He was like, oh, that's a September McDavid problem. And now he's thinking about it, and he wants to take his time on it. So there you go. His teammates are getting asked about this as well. Matthias Ekholm on McDavid contract.
Honestly, I think he has deserved every right to do whatever he wants, whatever he feels is the best decision for him. I have no thought whatsoever if he decides to stay here, if he decides to go. He's the best player in the world, in my opinion. When you are that and when you've done so much for not only yourself but your team, you've deserved every opportunity, every right to just take your time. And I'm honestly happy to see that he does, and hopefully he'll feel at peace at heart with his decision whenever that comes.
Okay, so that's Matthias Ekholm speaking today. So this will be an ongoing discussion. It would not surprise me if we don't hear anything from McDavid till the start of training camp or maybe until there is some sort of a deal signed. But it'll remain a talking point with speculation swirling around it. You know who else is going into the final year of his contract is Matthias Ekholm.
For me, myself, it doesn't really matter to me. Obviously, it's a contract year, but I'm also getting up there where I know what I bring on the ice, and it's not a huge deal, but then I also have a family, so I obviously want to make sure we have security or with some sort. So do I want to stay in Edmonton? Absolutely, and I'm sure there will be discussions about it, but you guys are going to talk to a guy in a couple minutes that is the focus right now, and I get that part. I've been in the league long enough knowing that we take care of the big boys first.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
The perception or belief is that Connor McDavid's going to extend prior to the season. Fair?
Well, that's the hope, I would think, yes.
Okay. Do the Oilers extend anyone else prior to the start of the season?
Well, probably not. I'd say highly unlikely.
Hernan? What do you think about... I brought this up yesterday. Do you think they should look at extending Jake Wallman?
I think Wallman for sure. Matthias Ekholm, we've had this discussion all summer. I think it's you got to wait and see what he can bring you this year.
Yeah.
And he's been a warrior. Don't get me wrong. I think we all love what he brings to the team and on the ice, and he's great in the community. He's great with the media, Reid. I would hold off on that one. But honestly, guys, right now for me, the only guy, and I don't even think you're in a rush to, but it's Jake Wallman, right? He's 29 years old. I don't know how much term you go with Jake Wallman at 29. I mean, I'm a cheapskate, so I like 4-year deals, guys. So, yeah, I'm in no rush to extend any of the players on the Edmonton Oilers outside of Connor McDavid.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
And what Ekholm said, like the big boys get done first. Yeah. Like nobody else going into their last year of their contract is sitting there thinking like, I can't believe they haven't called me. I can't believe they don't want to talk. I think they all know the pecking order here for sure. Interesting from Ekholm, he talked about his injury today. There'd been a report that he was at about 70% in the Cup final.
I don't even know, like, how do you put a percentage on? I have no idea whether it was that or something else. But, yeah, obviously it wasn't great. It was tough just because you can't really, like, you're more out there to survive than maybe creating something or actually playing your game. So I thought first couple games it went pretty good, but then obviously you get into the first couple games, you're so into it, like you're so mentally into it, and after a couple games you kind of, I wouldn't say you lose it, but it becomes more normal again. So it was definitely a challenge that I've never had before in my career, and looking back at it, it was difficult at times for sure, and obviously skating is a big part of hockey. So it was hard, but I mean, no excuse to it. I decided to play, and
So what was the injury and how did the season go?
I had a torn adductor. So, yeah, that's usually a tough injury when he's trying to skate. So it is what it is.
Straight from the internet, adductors are muscles on the inner thighs responsible for pulling the legs toward the body's midline and stabilizing the pelvis and trunk during activities like walking and standing. Just from reading that, skating would be pretty difficult with a torn adductor. And he made that comment too today. When you're playing through that, you're almost more focused on just surviving than trying to make a play. We saw him there's that one goal. Remember, he got beat off that center ice face-off where he just didn't look like he could move as well. So he was definitely hampered during the Stanley Cup final. So he talked a little bit more openly about that today. So hopefully he'll be fine going into the season. I think, obviously, if you're talking about injuries, the Zach Hyman injury, I mean, he's not at these skates because his brother's getting married, but if you saw the interview he did with Paige on Oilers Plus last week, he still got the I don't know if it was an actual cast, but he's got the big brace on his arm.
Yeah, it was a cast, moved to a brace.
Okay, yeah. So, I think we got to keep an eye on that, and we'll wonder how he's going to come back just at the start of the season.
Wonder if Matthias Ekholm is invested in a ThighMaster.
Let's hope so.
That's the one he needs.
That's what he needs. He needs a ThighMaster.
Who was the spokesperson for the
Suzanne
ThighMaster?
Summers.
Suzanne Summers?
Yeah, it was.
Chrissy from
Three's Company.
Yeah, Three's Company. I almost said One Day at a Time. I know that it wasn't. Did she pass away?
Ooh,
yeah, she died. She died in October. October 23rd. October 15th, 2023, at the age of 76. 1 day shy of her 77th birthday. Yeah.
What could have been, boys, if she didn't leave Three's Company?
Yeah, she's the one that left, right?
Yeah.
And then they had the short-lived one, and then who was the woman that stayed on?
It was
a nurse.
I think who they brought on was the two for the show purposes, they were the cousins of Chrissy Snow.
Right.
Yeah, and then the one that played the nurse was the one that was longer there.
That stayed.
Yeah, that stayed till the end.
Priscilla Barnes, a nurse who had treated Jack for a severe cut. Right.
Well, the same can be said for the Ropers, right?
Yeah, they went on to their own show.
They thought they could do their own show and it would be successful. But without that, we don't get Mr. Furley.
Don Knotts, classic character. Richard Klein played Larry Dallas.
Larry? Yeah.
Do you remember who played Janet?
I don't. DeWitt? Joyce DeWitt?
Joyce DeWitt.
Yeah.
Yes, Hernan's on top of it. You know what Paul Stanley thinks of Hernan's trivia knowledge? Pretty good. Okay, you can text us 780-218-9999, River Crib Resort and Casino inbox. River Crib Resort and Casino happy hour featuring $5.25 drinks available Sunday to Thursday, 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. We got words of the day. We'll look a little more into the Elks depth chart. Here comes Mr. Salas.
Carlos Alcaraz is through to the U.S. Open Finals after a straight sets win over Novak Djokovic. He awaits the winner of Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime and Italian Yannick Sinner. That match is just minutes from getting started. We'll keep you posted here right up until 6 p.m. Week 14 in the CFL kicks off tonight as the Ottawa Redblacks host the BC Lions. You can catch all the action on TSN starting at 5:30. The Labor Day rematch goes on Saturday as the Edmonton Elks welcome in the Calgary Stampeders. It's the final game of the CFL triple header on Saturday. The Green and Gold kickoff show gets you set for all the action starting at 4 p.m. with Matthew Wannick and Jay Milne. And one last note from the CFL, Winnipeg Blue Bombers announced today that their star receiver Dalton Schoen will miss the rest of the season due to a torn ACL. And the NFL rolls on this evening from Brazil as the Kansas City Chiefs and LA Chargers battle it out. Game time is 6 o'clock. To the MLB, Toronto Blue Jays, New York Yankees meet up for a 3-game set. First pitch from Yankee Stadium goes at 5:05. And to the soccer pitch, Canada defeated Romania 3-0 in their first friendly of the international break. We roll along here on the Reid Wilkins Show on EST.
So he wasn't really all in on St. Louis.
He got bad advice from his agent.
Yeah.
I was with someone from Oilers Hockey Ops during that time as well, and they were just saying he made a poor choice.
I also feel like the Oilers didn't match out of spite.
They felt slighted by him.
Yeah, but still, you let one of your only few prospects
The
go.
Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
It's wing showdown time at the Canadian Brewhouse. Creamy street corn goes head-to-head with Mexican chili lime. Two bold flavors battling for your taste buds. Grab them anytime, or just 69 cents every Wing Wednesday. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
World-renowned top psychic medium and the star of Meet the Frasers, Matt Fraser comes to River Cree Resort and Casino on September 12th and 13th for a couple of special live shows. Join Matt for 2 nights of healing, hope, and laughter. Matt has become a trusted figure for people seeking closure, guidance, and connection with their loved ones. Don't miss Matt Fraser live at River Cree Resort and Casino September 12th and 13th. Both shows are 18 plus. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
September is here. Although summer's entering the 7th inning stretch, the Jays are in full swing. Be ready for the baseball playoffs, and when the fall season arrives, create space with Sentinel Storage, official storage provider of the Toronto Blue Jays. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Welcome back to the Reid Wilkins Show, right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We had a couple limericks come in, so I figure we might as well pitter-patter. Let's get at her. This one came in from Bronco Nick. So Connor says he's taking his time, wants to make sure he's getting his dime. I'm not sweating it, so stop fretting it. He'll let us know when he's prime.
I thought he was going to say, I'm not sweating it, but are you getting it?
And we had another one come in from VR Montenegro. Ooh, it's Friday, which means VR Montenegro today is going by Victorious Ryan Montenegro. Raise a glass to the great Derek Ryan, retired in his prime. This had me a-crying. It's now time to muse, a new fave to choose. That Noah Philp kid is who I'm eyeing.
Noah Philp, former U of A Golden Bear.
Well done. We had one come in earlier from Atif.
I do not have that one.
The NFL kicked off last night. Eagles and Cowboys in a fierce fight. But a penalty, oh dear, set the tone with a sneer as one Eagle spat in pure spite. And he's written a second one.
Oh, wow. Incredible stuff.
The game raged on. Tempers would flare, with each team showing their flair. But when all was done, the Eagles had won, leaving Cowboys in defeat and despair. Oh, look at this. He wrote a third one.
Well, you can't just spam. Okay. Like, what's going on?
So here's to the fans.
This has become an epic poem.
Loud
It's like
and
the
proud.
Iliad.
Cheering for teams in the crowd. Though one flew so high, the other said bye. As the night ended, wild and loud.
Okay, is that it?
You want the honest answer?
There. How many limericks did he write? The music ended. He outlasted the music.
He beat the music.
He beat the length of the music.
That's quite the feat.
Musical chairs, musical limerick. You got to put your pen down when the music ends.
It's quite the feat.
Is there actually another limerick?
I don't know what it is.
Oh, okay. Well,
It says,
you can't tell what it is.
At the U.S. Open, here's John with a racket and shades on.
John Bon Jovi.
Oh, what fun, he sings. It's my life. Dodging balls with some strife.
That's not even a limerick.
But can he serve up a match like a pun? I don't know what that was.
Well, it's a form of a poem, I guess.
Good job.
We only got one Bon Jovi, or the off-topic topic for William Huff. The struggle today. But some days are like that. You put it out there, you see what the universe has to say. I thought we would figure out something. John Bon Jovi song about tennis. You give love a bad name. You don't even have to change the title.
Right.
Might have to change the lyrics. What was the other one? Lay your serve on me?
Lay your serve on me. Yeah. That's good.
Oh, my God. All right. Thanks a lot for joining us today. 528. He's Jason Milne. I'm Reid Wilkins. Hernan Salas in for Zachary Kubish today as we are coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Make your birthday epic at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a vibe you won't forget. Book your party now at thebanquetbar.com. You can post in the Nasty Chat. That's the conversation going on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up if you're there as well. Click that like button. If you already have, share the show link with somebody else and say, hey, check these guys out. Give them a like. Maybe you're on TuneIn Radio. Maybe you're on iHeartRadio. That is also cool. You can text 780-218-9999. That is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. Sundays and Mondays, 50% off the entire menu. Available Sundays and Mondays, 5 p.m. until close. Email jay@edmontonsportstalk.com. reid@edmontonsportstalk.com. If you have a Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week nominee, send it to Jay. Tell us why we need to profile this individual or individuals, and we'll take a look at it. Do we already have somebody lined up for next week? This is awesome.
Yes, we do.
We've had some really good suggestions. We
Yes.
get emails all the time.
A female golfer next week.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Just did some big things at a big tournament in Alberta. So,
oh, cool.
Stay tuned.
I'm always happy for young people who are good golfers.
Why is that?
Because even if they don't play competitively, they'll be able to play competently. Because golf is one of those sports. It's nice if somebody asks you to golf and you feel as if, okay, I'll go out and I'll be able to at least somewhat competently perform the activity.
You won't slow the round down.
As opposed to people like you and me, who are
That's
like...
not true.
Well, we're not very good.
We're competent.
I did not describe us as competent
Yes.
golfers.
You understand, what's this? A dog leg left. If you looked at me with
but
bewilderment...
performance-wise...
I know, but still.
like if you're like, oh, the hole's 170 yards, I know it's a par 3, sure.
Right, and you know what club to use. And you're probably going to shoot in 18.
170-yard hole, driver and a 7-iron. Yeah.
You're probably going to shoot under 100.
Yes, even though I hardly golf anymore, it's if I play 18 holes, I'd be likely to break 100 off the white tees.
Yeah.
I'm not playing the back tees.
That's a competent... That's 90% of golfers, I think, are... Maybe not 90. I wonder what the average score of a weekend warrior golfer.
Oh, I don't even know. But that's what I'm saying. If you're a teen and you're already winning tournaments, you're going to enjoy golf probably the rest of your life and always be shooting pretty good scores.
The average score for an amateur golfer typically falls between 90 and 100 strokes.
Well, yeah, but how often do you play, right?
It doesn't matter. It's just an amateur golfer.
Yeah.
I mean, you shot a 46 on 9 the other day. I shot a 43.
I thought I was higher.
No.
Okay.
I mean, that's pretty good. That's 86 and 92. and that's my second round of the year. That was your second?
Yeah, I only golfed really 2.5 rounds. I golfed 18 at Riverside. I think I shot 95 or 96.
Yeah, competent.
And I guess I'm at the point too where that round at Riverside, like I knew where the shots were. Like if I'm golfing more often, it's probably a 90 or 91. Like I could tell you exactly where the shots were, where I'm like, that's a miss or that's trouble I wouldn't be in otherwise. I was talking to, do you know who Ryan Rashog is?
Heard of him.
So he's gotten into golf, right? Because he's got what does he have? The simulator in his garage.
Oh, okay.
And he asked me how often I golfed. I was like, I didn't really golf this summer. And he's like, oh, that's too bad. You suck, whatever. And he didn't say that. And then I said, were you playing quite a bit? He's like, oh, yeah. I said, well, are you how's your handicap? Are you like a single digit? He's like, well, let me tell you. I was 9.3 and I ballooned up to 10 point something, but I got it back down to 9 point something. I'm like, oh, it ballooned to 10 point something, eh, Ryan? Wow. Sorry you had to card those 284s.
Nerd alert.
Jeez, buddy.
He has a simulator at home?
Yeah, he's talked about that.
Okay. Fun.
We're fired up for Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years, the authorized dealer for Napoleon fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. I guess everybody has a different relationship with golf, too. But so we're going to have a Pass the Pantry Athlete of the Week, who's an outstanding, how old is she, 14? But she's like a provincial caliber golfer.
Yeah.
So she's an excellent golfer. She would beat 99.9% of the people listening to the show, probably, right?
Oh, as well.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. If you're that good at a sport like golf this early, maybe she will be competitive for a long time. But even if she isn't, she will likely, if she's in the EST Golf Classic,
she's carrying a team.
She's carrying the team. Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Oh yeah. No, she's carrying the team for sure. I find now with 3 kids, it's really selfish. This is just me, okay? Because I love being around my kids when they're off on the weekend and I'm off. If I was to say, hey, I'm going to go golf Saturday afternoon.
Right.
That, to me, it just doesn't work because, A, those rounds aren't going to be done in a timely fashion.
Yeah, you're gone.
You're gone for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Right? I just don't, I can't waste that time. I can't give up that time. That's why when you and I went to the Garrison, we did that at what, 9 a.m.?
9 a.m.
We were done in 2 hours. We were done our 9 in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because at that point in the day, you can't really get that far behind.
Yeah, and you had to come to work. I was off, but yeah.
So I don't crave golf. I'm not like, ooh, I got to get out to the range. And I mean, the thought of going to the range.
That's why I wanted to have a swing that was good enough that I can get out there after not playing for a while and hit it okay. And I kind of can do that. Certainly, the more you play, the better you are, and your short game's a lot better. But it's an interesting sport, right? Because I think you're like, okay, could you play a round of golf and not keep score?
Absolutely.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
I could not.
I wouldn't want to. I'd rather keep score.
Yes.
Just
and even
to
if I
see where
wasn't
you're
writing
at.
it down, I would just be keeping it in my head.
Yeah.
And then be like, well, I should have just written it down.
But I could.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
I have to keep score. And I know that maybe that's not healthy.
No,
because,
it is.
Sometimes I would still get frustrated, and then somebody would say, well, why do you care about your score? I'm just like, I just do. I have to know how I'm doing. I have to know how I'm doing.
How do you keep score? On the card, what do you write? Do you just write your actual score?
Oh, did you see how I did it? Is that why you're asking?
No, I didn't.
No, I copied this from one of my buddies a few years ago. So if I get a 5 on a par 4, I write down +1.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
Because then it's lower numbers to add up.
It's easier. And at the end of the round, you can quickly say, okay, it's a 36 par.
Yeah.
And I'm +8. Well, there you go. That's 57.
Yeah, you're not adding up 5 + 7 + 3 + 8. What's that?
You just missed my joke.
What did you say? +7?
I said, if you have a 36 and you shoot +8, that's 57.
Oh, 57, right. Yes, congratulations. Yeah, you're so learned.
Oh, Papa.
But I can't, I just can't not keep score. Like, I need to record stuff. That's just my personality. And I know people say, well, why do you keep score? I'm like, well, what if I'm shooting the round of my life after 6 holes and I haven't kept score? Like I go, because when I was playing more often and I had a good round, like I could have a 6 to 8 hole stretch where I could be 1 or 2 over. You know, like that's the level I reached. Like I might shoot 85, say at Riverside. And so par 71, but I could play 6 holes and 1 over. And then the other 12 holes, I'd be, 13 over.
Yes.
So a little worse than bogey golf, but my good holes were I would be dialed in and be playing quite well. But I can't not keep score. Zulu in the Nasty Chat says golf is too expensive to take serious. Go out and enjoy it. I get that, but for me, part of the enjoyment is knowing how I'm doing and being competitive with myself. Now, I remember there was a sales guy at Ched who golfed like fairly regularly, and another sales guy was talking to me about how just about golf, and he goes, I get it, Reid, that you want to keep score, but you also have to know what range you're in. But like for this other guy, he would golf, I think 2 or 3 rounds during the week, and he would go. I think he was a member at Blackhawk, and he would go out and practice for 2 or 3 hours every Sunday morning, like hit bunker shots, like work on a short game, go to the range. And this other sales guy said to me, if you're doing that, you kind of better be scoring when you actually play.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like if you're putting that much time into it. I mean, for me, I reached the level where it's like, okay, hopefully I can be good enough. I'm around 90. Yeah. And I more or less was. Like I was usually still over 90. But even I went out like some courses I would never play before, and you'd shoot a 93, and it's like, oh, that's pretty good.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
If you're breaking 90, I think if you're breaking 90, that's a score you can confidently post on your social media with the scorecard.
And I broke it down like this. If I was playing 20 rounds a year when I was playing, which I usually would be about around 20 rounds.
Really?
I'd probably be in the 80s 3 or 4 rounds. And then maybe I'd have 1 round where I was over 100, where I shot like 1 or 2 or something. Like I just had a bad day, and everything else was in the 90s. There's also a big difference between a 92 and a 98 for when I played.
You would golf 20 rounds a year?
I was playing, for a few years, I was playing 15 to 20 rounds a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I've golfed 20 rounds in the last 5 years.
Well, the last 2 or 3, I haven't golfed nearly as much. Last 3, I guess, I haven't golfed nearly as much. I really like golf, though. But again, I was also a fair weather golfer. You go early in the morning. You often get the early bird rate. You don't have to wait. Like my buddies and I would play 3-hour rounds, right? Because sometimes we'd be the first people out there.
Mm-hmm.
Riverside, 6 a.m. weekday, go out and play.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That was the
nice
best
time of the day, too.
Who were the guys on the hangout this morning that were talking golf? I can't remember
Garrett
their names.
and Cody.
But they said, if you play a city course, you're not going to lose a ball. Like, have you played Riverside? There's trees everywhere. There's out of bounds along the river.
Riverside's the exception.
Riverside is not Riverside does not have water. Like the river doesn't count because that's out of bounds anyway. Riverside does not have water. It's fairly flat except for a couple holes that have extreme elevation changes. But they grow up the rough, and there are trees. Like where we played at the Garrison, if you were well off the fairway, you could still scramble.
Mm-hmm.
You probably weren't going to lose your ball.
Yeah.
So I was a little surprised that one guy made the comment. It's like, yeah, at a municipal course, you can't lose a ball. And I'm like, no, at Riverside, you can lose a ball. It's it doesn't have the length, but it protects it as some other courses, but it protects itself in some other ways. And I think that made me a better player because the greens aren't big, most of them, so you got to be pretty precise playing there.
I thought they were great on the hangout, by the way. That's Garrett and Cody from Rundle Park.
Yeah, they were good.
The short course.
Yeah.
And I just thought they have a really unique thing going there. My wife and my mother-in-law and the girls went out to Rundle Park just before school got back in.
Yeah.
And they had a blast. It's pretty chill there, but it's in really good shape for being like it's a par 3 course. I'd like to do that.
Yeah, we should go play.
I would. Beat you. You want to play for keeps? Want to play for
we
pink
could play.
slips?
Well, still, you're not competitive. You want to crush me, eh?
Well, you just bring out the spirit in me, Rah, rah.
I think we're pretty comparable as golfers.
Yeah.
I think you're from when we play, I was going to say your high end might be better than my high end, but I don't know if it would be actually.
I don't really think about it that way because I rarely experience.
Well, that's golf, right? How often do you hit?
That ain't happening.
A really shot. I mean, the first few holes we both played pretty well.
Yeah,
and I couldn't keep it. And like I was saying the other day, I just couldn't putt as the round went on. All of a sudden, I forgot how to putt.
I got the yips too. It was bad on the green.
Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Gaming made easy anytime, anywhere with Play Alberta. You have a full casino experience right at your fingertips. Play from your phone, tablet, or computer whenever works for you. Download the Play Alberta app today. Get started with a $50 casino bonus. Just deposit $50 with the promo code EST Casino. Play smart, play local, and remember to use your game sense. All right, here's Hernan.
Carlos Alcaraz is through to the U.S. Open final after a straight sets win over Novak Djokovic. He awaits the winner of Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime and Italian Yannick Sinner. That game is just underway from Arthur Ashe Stadium. You can catch all the action on TSN. Week 14 in the CFL it kicks off tonight as the Ottawa Redblacks are hosting the BC Lions. That game is also underway. You can catch that one on TSN1. The Labor Day rematch goes on Saturday as the Edmonton Elks host the Calgary Stampeders down at Commonwealth Stadium. The Green and Gold kickoff show gets you set for all the action starting at 4 p.m. with Matthew Wannick and Jay Milne. And one last note from the CFL, Winnipeg Blue Bombers announced that star receiver Dalton Schoen will miss the rest of the season due to a torn ACL. The NFL rolls on this evening from Brazil as the Kansas City Chiefs and LA Chargers battle it out. Game time is 6 o'clock. And to the soccer pitch, Canada defeated Romania 3-0 in their first friendly of the international break. Jonathan David, Ali Ahmed, and Nico Seeger scored the goals for Canada. They will play Wales on Tuesday to close out the international window. We close out the Reid Wilkins show next here on EST.
Afternoon.
Brendan Deek from The Score in your Super Bowl matchup.
I have the Buffalo Bills defeating the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know if the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and the Buffalo area will have enough alcohol to that would just be like the two craziest fan bases butting heads. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are the clear best team in the NFC, and the Buffalo Bills, I think this is the year McDermott gets it done.
EST Afternoons, weekday afternoons 1 to 3, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Okay, thanks a lot for joining us. Taking you into your weekend here. Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne, Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta. 4 o'clock tomorrow, Jay's on with Awanak for the Green and Gold kickoff show, Elks Stampeders. So BC Ottawa is underway. Triple header tomorrow. What do we have? Montreal, Hamilton, Banjo Bowl, Winnipeg and Sask, and then the Labor Day rematch, Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. How do the Elks do it tomorrow? I mean, Jed said, I get what Jed was saying. It's a rivalry game. Sometimes weird things can happen. But I do think the Elks are, I mean, they got beat. Doesn't mean that they're going to get beat again, but they don't have the same, I mean, they're injury riddled, I think it's fair to say at this point.
Win the turnover ratio, clearly.
Yeah.
And put up points. Because Calgary's going to put up points too. If you can do that, you've got a shot. If you're giving away the ball, it's just not going to work. You cannot make mistakes against Calgary because they'll just take advantage of it and suffocate you.
No, VA did not light them up.
VA was
what is okay? Calgary ran the ball well and they won the game. But what is Calgary thinking they have to adjust to in the passing game?
Well,
because after that first drive, they didn't really torch the secondary of the Elks.
Probably move VA around a bit, get him out of the pocket, and let him use his legs. Now they may be a little shy of doing that because of what happened earlier in the season,
right?
Which caused him to miss some games. But yeah, that's the other thing too is VA didn't have a great game on Monday, so if VA's coming out and lighting the world on fire, that's going to be a long day for Edmonton.
Yeah,
but I'll say it again tomorrow. Early in the game, if they can make some sort of a big play, whether it be a turnover, something on special teams, to light a fire under their butts, and send a strange signal over to the Calgary bench that would suggest to them, oh, wow, this is a different Edmonton team.
The Elks have been playing from behind a lot this season, right? And especially against the better teams. And
that's true.
Then these opponents have never felt the pressure like, holy crap, we got to score. Like the Elks kind of had Toronto in that situation. You know, like Toronto was like, well, we got to score, right? Because they were trying to catch up the entire game.
Yeah.
Against the Western teams, the Elks have often been behind. And the other team has kind of had that downhill where it's like, oh, okay, well, we didn't score us. Okay, we still have the lead. Edmonton needs to step up and do something.
Well, and I thought Edmonton last week, I mean, they were in that game in the first quarter.
Well, for most of the first half, they wound up being in the game.
Well, but then what happened? Missed field goal late in the second quarter.
Yeah, that whole
sequence where it could have been 10-9.
Right.
Turns into 13-4. That's the game. Wrap.
Yeah, the fumble.
If they limit those, that's a different game last week. It could be a different game tomorrow. I mean, they have so much to overcome in ways of injury. It would be a miracle if they pull out that victory tomorrow.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
And I do think it's a must-win for their playoff hopes. For Elks fans, you want Ottawa to beat BC, even though then Ottawa improves better in the crossover race. And you need Saskatchewan. I mean, at this point, I know this is counterintuitive for Elks fans. You need Saskatchewan just to beat everybody they play.
Yeah.
You don't care. Saskatchewan can finish 16-2, especially against the West teams.
Yes.
You need especially maybe Calgary's a little bit out of reach now. I mean, quite frankly, even after tomorrow, Calgary can win all their games because the Elks probably aren't going to catch the Stamps. So you need Calgary and Saskatchewan. Well, Calgary doesn't play Winnipeg anymore, do they? I don't think they do. I think they're done with them already. They still play the Lions. But anyway, you need BC and Winnipeg especially to lose, and you need the Elks to win. And then hopefully Toronto and Ottawa don't heat up either. All right.
They do not play them anymore.
Right, they played them already. Hernan, thanks for filling in, man. I know this delays the start of your weekend, but
no, it's been great.
To step
man.
in for the Coop today. You've done a great job. We love having you.
Great being on this side. It's fun, man. Learning something new every day.
You know what we do now? Words of the day, baby.
It's my favorite segment.
Oh my goodness.
Word of the day
somebody likes
with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
Dun, da, da, da.
Sometimes I just like playing that just because it's such a great soundbite. First word of the day, talisman.
Oh, talisman?
Talisman.
Well, that's quite easy to spell, and I think I'll get the definition. Talisman. Talisman. Well, first of all, Talisman is a board game. That's sort of like a D&D style board game, but that's not what you're asking for there. A talisman is sort of like a valued object that has some sort of spiritual or magical power. Not exactly. It's
there's a specific thing about this object.
Is it worn?
It is.
It's worn. Is it used to like ward off evil or
Maybe.
danger?
I'm going to read the definition, and we'll figure out the point.
I'm embarrassed I haven't got it
An
already.
object engraved with figures or characters and worn as an amulet or charm. So you were there. It's engraved with figures or characters.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to...
I didn't realize it. Yeah, I guess. Okay, I didn't realize that'd be part of the definition.
0.5.
I think I should get half.
Yeah, so 1.5 out of 2 on the first word.
Because I was aware it was some sort of an object used for, like, to help you be safe, sort of. Right?
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah, okay. 1.5 out of 2.
Second word of the day.
This is thrilling, isn't it, Hernan?
Love it.
Histrionic. Histrionic.
Histrionic. Histrionic. Histrionic would be like sort of like extreme over the top acting. Like the Chris Farley was known for his histrionics when appearing on David Letterman. Dun, da, da, da.
Bang. Boom.
Yeah.
2 for 2.
Hey, I'm not as dumb as I look, everybody.
3.5 out of 4. That's a week high. That's a way to go into the weekend, baby.
Well, I knew how to spell those, and I knew generally the meaning. Did you think I would get those?
I didn't know about the first word. I figured you'd get this. The way they used it in a sentence was the head chef had a penchant for dish throwing, door slamming, and other histrionic displays of temper.
Yeah, it's like
whenever a dish was sent back to
yeah.
the kitchen.
Yeah.
The actual definition, for those wondering, is a word used.
I hear him coming now.
Is a word used disapprovingly to describe someone or something that is too emotional or dramatic.
Yeah, I think in real life it would have a negative connotation. Like, oh, there's Dusty and his histrionics again because I opened his hockey card pack without asking him.
Right.
Well done.
Yeah.
Or Dusty would do that. All right, we're going into the weekend. So Jason Milne is on tomorrow at 4 with Matthew Wannick for the Green and Gold kickoff show. 5 o'clock game, Elks and Stamps at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. Big thanks to Hernan Salas for sitting in for the Coupe today. He's the glue guy, Jay. I'm Reid. Have a great weekend.